All right. Pause that. All right, how's it going, everybody? NetTuber, hello, hello, hello. Good to have you here. So today's stream, sorry it took so long. I wanted to go live earlier. I had a whole issue. If you guys watched my stream yesterday, you'll know about the situation. I got pulled over. I had to figure out my registration and stuff. So I was on the phone with the license branch for what felt like hours. Still to not get help. Had to revert to Gemini to actually help me because I couldn't figure it out on the website and it was all buried. Finally got to the right thing, figured it out, made the payment. It's in the process. So got that out of the way. All the main important stuff out of the way. Now we can figure out what the hell is going on with Greenland, guys. So that's going to be the topic of the day for this stream. We're going to do GeoGuessr later. Hold on. Damn it. Yeah, there we go. Got Kick over there unmuting itself. I don't know why it does it. Don't know why it does it, but it does it. I guess it's just part of my stream at this point. So anyways, yeah, so we're going to figure out what the hell's going on with Greenland. Because it's not good. He's threatening tariffs, right? On what, like 8 different European Union countries or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. And then, of course, you know, you got the European Union countries, Denmark, whatever, right? Other countries as well. Send troops to Greenland to figure out the threat, assess the situation, whatever it is, right? So then, of course, that's making Trump all mad and everything, I guess. So we're going to figure it out. Hello from Estonia. How's it going? I guess there's MAGA parody hats going around. Evidently, there's people that have MAGA hats, but instead of it being for like "Make America Great Again," it stands for "Make America Go Away," which is it's funny. It's funny. It sucks. I'm American, but you know. So we got. Let me see. Let me switch over to my screen here. We're gonna check out some videos, guys. What's up, Buttercup? How's it going, Neek? So right here, we got 14 hours ago. It will be done. Trump's threat to take over Greenland is real. It's cold and snowy. Yeah, you know, it's really cold here. It's not snowy. We have snow a lot. Like, there's a lot of snow on the ground, but it's not currently snowing anymore. Thank God, because I don't need any more snow. During an interview, European correspondent CEO Ben Robbins said the following after reading a letter from Donald Trump addressed to Greenland. The tone, this is the moaning of a petulant child, says NetTuber. Yeah. So there's also hold on again. Why does it do that? Does anybody know why Kick unpauses itself and unmutes itself? It literally makes no sense. It just has to interrupt my stream. But anyways, whatever, right? So Trump evidently sent a text letter to, I think it was the Norwegian prime minister. And basically it comes down to Trump's butthurt because he didn't get nominated, or he didn't get like the Nobel Peace Prize, guys. So, which of course, why would, you know, he's, oh, I stopped 8 wars. Well, you know, but you're not a peaceful person necessarily. I mean, really, you know. And so we're going to check this out. It'll be done. Trump's threat to take over Greenland is real. Now, I will say, before we get started on this, there's a lot of people that's I don't need, you know what? If anybody wants to, I'm just exiting out of that. And if anybody chats on Kick, they're just going to get ignored, I guess. But anyways, people misidentify me as a Trump supporter because of certain comments that I've made in the past. I look at stuff situational, right? But overall now, I mean, clearly Trump is not a good person. Clearly this is the case, right? But because of comments in the past, this and that, I just want to make it clear right now, I'm in the middle. I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm me. I mean, I'm right. I'm correct because I'm, you know, but you know what I'm saying. We're going to check this out, guys.
Thank you very much. With that, we bring in former Supreme Allied Commander of Europe, retired Air Force General Philip Breedlove. Now,
let me restart that for you guys. Sorry, I didn't realize the volume was so low on your guys' end. So you probably didn't even hear the beginning. So let's restart. Apologies.
Thank you very much. With that, we bring in former Supreme Allied Commander of Europe, retired Air Force General Philip Breedlove, now a distinguished professor at the Sam Nunn School at Georgia Tech. Great to have you with us, General. Thank you very much for joining me once again. I just want to play this from the weekend. This is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on this situation. Watch.
Down the road, this fight for the Arctic is real. We would keep our NATO our NATO guarantees, and if there were an attack on Greenland from Russia, from some other area, we would get dragged in. So better now, peace through strength, make it part of the United States, and there will not be a conflict.
What does he mean by peace through strength and there will not be a conflict? You're creating a conflict actively by trying to take Greenland. I don't understand what the... Right? Because it's like, okay, well, oh, Russia and China. Oh, we're afraid of Russia and China. Well, there's been an agreement since 1951 that the United States military can be there. We can build bases there. We can have troops there. We can do basically whatever we want to do with the military in Greenland. So I don't understand this peacefulness. You're creating a conflict with the European Union, guys. I don't want to go to war with Europe. I love Europe. Okay, whatever.
So you see some of the European leaders, General, saying that all of this undermines our NATO relationships. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree. Yes, it undermines it. What do you mean? It's like we're supposed to be in an alliance, right? That's like saying, okay, well, let's break it down on a smaller scale, okay? So you got the neighborhood watch, right? You got let's say it's the homeowners association, right? You live in this housing addition and everybody has their own house and everybody's in charge of their own house, right? But you've got this agreement in place that you watch out for each other, right? If somebody's out of town and you see somebody messing around with their property, it's your job to go take care of it for them, right? As a nice neighbor, right? This neighborly bond, this homeowners association situation, right? So now it's like, okay, well, I don't like the people 5 doors down, so the house next to me is some little old lady that can't defend it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it from her because I can defend it better. You're basically breaking this alliance. Like you're not doing a justice to this alliance at all. You're basically backstabbing everybody and creating a bunch of fucking problems is what's happening and dragging everybody into fucking World War III, I think.
Well, thanks for having me on again, Martha. And the bottom line is, I believe, and I've said it before, that we can do this, everything we need to do to provide the security that we need in Greenland, we can do through cooperation with NATO, with Denmark, and with Greenland. So this is about something more than just Greenland, and I think we all know what that something more is. This is incredibly
What is it? For those who don't know what you're talking about.
Elaborate.
Well, I think that there are several things that our president wants for America. One is strategic security, but the other is also the minerals and all of the possibilities for growth and use of the welfare or of the wealth of Greenland.
Well, some of the, I've heard some voices from Greenland, people on the ground, and obviously other people feel differently, but some saying they don't think Denmark has done a good job of stewardship of their economic resources. They do think they can make more money and be a more prosperous nation. Let's take a look at these images. This is the Russian ICBM likely flight path to the United States. And I think that, this is something people need to look at closely. Let's take that full so everyone can.
Yeah, but the thing with this is like, it's not just security. Like, we're allowed to put bases there. It's not just security. Just like the guy with the glasses, I don't know his name, but whoever that guy is, like he's saying, it's about the minerals and everything else.
You can see it. Greenland is squarely in the path of the ICBM path that would be traveled, hopefully never. But when you take a look at it, and I also think it's interesting, you do hear President Trump when he talks about this issue, sometimes mention Space Force. So this is what he's thinking of in terms of this Golden Dome and protection for the United States from any ICBMs. That's a huge part of this, isn't it?
Well, it certainly is, and that's what I was saying as you brought a different subject. The bottom line is this is strategic land. You know, real estate agents always say location, location, location. This is about location. And Greenland is certainly going to be important to any intercontinental defense of America, maybe more for sense.
You know, I just thought of something. It's like lately the focus has all been on the Arctic, right? The North Pole and everything, right? And it's like, did they not realize that the Earth has been round this whole time? It seems like this whole time they've been looking at shooting missiles, you know, east to west and west to east and whatever, right? And it's like, it just seems like in the last couple of years, they're like, oh shit, guys, we can go north over the top. We need Greenland now. It's been round the whole time. It's not new news, but I mean, Trump's a fucking idiot. Maybe he just now realized that the damn Earth is a ball. His dumbass probably just realized the Earth is a ball and you can shoot over the top. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta have Greenland. I'm pissed about this, to be honest with you guys. I really am.
For sensors than for shooters. But the bottom line is this land is important. But we do not need to own Greenland to make Greenland available to intercontinental defense. We already have treaties and agreements in place where we can put basing there. We have Pittswick Base there, which, oh, by the way, has gotten smaller and smaller across the
Pittswick, okay. I didn't know how you pronounce that. I pronounced it so wrong in the last video that mentioned it.
Last decade, we have decreased our investment in Greenland. So now we would have to turn around and increase our investment in Greenland.
It's very interesting that Denmark, you know, when you look at the map, is quite a distance from Greenland and has had ownership of it for a long time. So it does raise questions about why that is and whether or not that's the best position for NATO in terms of protection. General Breedlove, always good to see you, sir. Thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
So, yeah. Let me see what's going on in the chat here. Says Emmanuel Macron during his speech at Davos Forum 2026 said we need more stabilities in this world, but we do prefer respect to bullies. Okay. We do refer science to plottism, and we do prefer rule of law to brutality. You're welcome in Europe, and you're more than welcome to France. Thank you. Let's see. It's sad that America was pulled into this crazy position. Yeah, right? Like, I wish they would just let me be in charge, guys. Pretty crazy that there's literally no justification for this. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too. It's like he tries to justify it by saying, like, oh, well, you know, security, but we all know that that's not the case. That's the thing that, like, with Venezuela, the justification is, okay, the guy was an illegitimate president, dictator, this and that. A lot of the Venezuelan people are happy. Okay, there's your justification. Sure. This is a whole nother, this basically just turns him into a bad person, pretty much, right? I mean, it's all it takes is one crazy person. Yeah, the wrong person with the power. Wrong person in charge isn't good, right? We call that war, not peace. Yeah, exactly, right? You have a lot of mental gymnastics to come to Trump and company's conclusion. Yeah, exactly, right? Justifications to forget the Epstein files. I mean, it probably, because everybody stopped talking about it. Hi, Charlie, did you see the letter DJT sent to Norway? Yeah, I mentioned earlier. Yep. We'll check it out here in a second. He literally wrote that there's no written document that Denmark owns Greenland, even though it is in the Danish constitution. Yeah, and then it's just like he's just belittling people too. He's like, oh well, why does Denmark get to own Greenland just because they landed like a boat there or something, right? Like, isn't that stupid? Like, okay, well, in that sense, Europe takes United States back because didn't they land a boat here? And then found what was it, the Virginia colony or something like that in like Jamestown, Virginia. So you know, there's that. Trump's a psycho. Yeah, it seems to be. Lost my spot in the chat, guys. Okay, also, why is the U.S. military flying planes above my house in Europe? I bet the Oompa Loompa doesn't even know. Your house in Europe? I don't know, actually. Hopefully it's nothing to do with you. Hopefully you're good, Neek. Here too, but not Americans. I don't know what that means. Same here. I live in a low-flying zone or something, so sometimes helicopters are just flying as high as the treetops, not very high. Dang. In Tilburg also? What's going on over there? I am near Leeuwarden Air Force Base. They have a joint NATO training mission. Okay. Hello, it's not new, but the guidance systems were not efficient enough in the poll, but it's a solved problem since decades. Trump and Greenland is just bullshit. Hopefully it doesn't affect your vacation. You might not be allowed to travel to Europe soon. I know, and I'm already stressing about it. Like, I'm already stressing about it, guys. Like, it's a really stressful situation, to be honest with you. Look at the Midas Touch. I've heard of that channel. Actually. Midas Touch is a good one. Agree on the okay. A lot of people agreed on the Midas Touch. Yeah, I've heard of that channel. I feel like I have seen. Is that the guy that? Or wait, no, that's 2CTV. I was thinking of. I have. Which one's Midas Touch? Let me. Greenland News. I'll just type in Midas Touch. And then leave Greenland News there. Okay, so right here we got troops rush into Greenland after fatal Trump move. We're gonna check this out in a second. Let me go through this chat real quick. Hi from the Netherlands. Your news media has always amazed me. Like, it's so obvious how there's a narrative always pushed. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's narratives left and right, guys, for sure. I like, there's another channel on YouTube called Agenda Free TV. And he actually presents everything in a very unbiased, in the middle, neutral kind of way. He doesn't even give his opinion to the point, like, you don't even know which side he's on almost, like. So if you guys are wanting to look at some news stuff at some point yourself, free time, whatever, and you don't want the agenda being pushed or whatever, Agenda Free TV on YouTube's a good one as well. Let's see. And he's been covering a lot of this stuff too, I think. Traded USA for Suriname, right? Yeah, right. Just trade it back, right? I guess we get Suriname back, and hey, the weather be nicer down there anyways. I bet there's not snow on the ground in Suriname. I'll just trade my house to some Suriname family that wants to come up here, and we'd be good to go. Make New Amsterdam great again. There you go. Just a small part of Manhattan, not the whole USA. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit there. Was New Amsterdam. I saw some U.S. Coast Guard planes fly over the North Sea the other day. Weird. Dang. Midas Touch is interesting, but also sometimes jump into conclusions too quickly. Okay, good to know. When Denmark sold the Virgin Islands to the U.S. in 1917, part of the deal was that the U.S. recognized Greenland as a part of the United Kingdom of Denmark. That's a good point, Jesper. Okay. Interesting. Clearly about the oil, rare earth minerals, gas. Yep. All right, so let's check this out here. Troops rush into Greenland after fatal Trump move. And then we're not going to forget the other one. We're going to check out the letter to Norway. But we're going to check out these troops going into Greenland.
Said, quote, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize.
Hold on. 1 second. I do want to go back and click like on that other video that we just watched real quick. Just because I like to try to do that. All right, so anyways. Troops rush into Greenland after
said,
fatal.
quote, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What is being described as an extraordinary meeting involving leaders from all.
Okay, yeah, I have seen, I think I've only seen 1 or 2 of this guy's videos, I think. I'm pretty sure I've only seen 1 or 2, but
27 EU countries is set to commence. Yes, this is as a result of the egomaniac-in-chief who has said he no longer feels obliged to only think of peace after he was not awarded the Nobel Peace Prize last year.
and that's the thing too, it's like, can we act like a bigger child? I mean, because that's, right? I mean, that's a pretty childish, oh, well, you're not going to give me the Nobel Peace Prize? Well, then fuck me and peaceful. Let's start World War III. Let's start world domination. Let's do that. Let's go the exact opposite. Like, who does that? Who does that? I mean, Trump, obviously.
Last year.
Now, Sally John, I hope you're sitting comfortably. I know that normally you talk to me about economics and numbers, but this is also the place where all these people will meet. Donald Trump is coming here on Wednesday. We think Keir Starmer might do. He might want to get his skates on because of something that's just happened. We have both the Norwegian Prime Minister and Finnish Prime Minister accounts of an exchange of letters, which is truly extraordinary.
Cool, we're getting the letters.
It's funny in a way, but it's also incredibly serious. Overnight, an email or exchange between those two and Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is reported to have replied, considering your country, this is a message to Norway, decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped the wars, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace.
So to recap, he wants to wage war because he wasn't given a trophy he wanted. He sends ICE agents to blue states, despite red states having higher crime rates because they didn't vote for him. And there's a good chance he invaded Venezuela because their leader impersonated his dance moves. This is what happens when you elect a narcissist.
Alliances.
See, the thing with the ICE thing, though, so some of that, a lot of people do hate Trump so much that they do also take things way out of context as well. And so the thing with the ICE thing, and I've seen videos of this, like there's ICE agents trying to like arrest like this one situation was like a child predator person. I don't want to say that, you know what I'm saying, right? A person that was preying on children in a sexual way. Okay. And that's the person that the ICE agent was trying, and then you got all these people protesting, screaming, fuck ICE, this and that, blocking the roads, doing all, just acting crazy. And just on the pure principle of, oh, this and that, and because they hate Trump. I don't agree with that. It's like, it's a situational basis. If they're there to get rid of a child predator, let them get rid of the child predator. Right. I mean, if you got an illegal migrant that snuck into the country and then they're diddling kids, I'm sorry. I don't care how much you hate Trump. Don't impede justice. That is a federal law enforcement officer. Get the fuck out of their way and get the child predator out of my country. I'm just saying, I don't want those kind of people here. So that some of that stuff does get construed. I'm not saying that they're perfect. I'm not saying that at all, but sometimes they're doing their job. Sometimes they are, and people take things out of context as well. But to be fair, I'm just putting that in there. And stuff like that is what comments people in the past, people's like, oh, well, you're a Trump supporter. Well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't want child predators in my country. Sorry. Stuff like that. I feel like sometimes they do need to do their job. I mean, right? I mean,
alliances endure because they're built on respect and partnership, not pressure. That is why I said the use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong.
Yeah, it is.
The French president calling the tariff threats unacceptable. Sweden's prime minister saying we will not let ourselves be blackmailed. Only Denmark and Greenland decide on issues concerning Denmark and Greenland.
This is what he does. It's Martin Luther King Day. I'm sick, and here I am in the office because this man's relentless quest for Greenland knows no bounds. In a message to Norway's Prime Minister, Trump blamed the country for not giving him the Nobel Peace Prize. In his reply to Trump, the Prime Minister explained, like most normal people would understand, that an independent committee, not the government of Norway, awards the prize, which last October went to Venezuela's opposition leader.
Just shows the
Yeah, so, and that's the thing too. It's like he's getting all butthurt, writing messages to the Norwegian president as though the Norwegian president's the one in control of this Nobel Peace Prize. Like I you know, to be fair, I don't know anything about the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, I get the basis. You get it because you're peaceful and you've done something great. Like, I understand that. But I don't know anything about this committee in Norway that controls it or anything like that. But it's just crazy.
Sort of tone of the response of the conversation that will be had in a...
So despite her giving it to Trump, it seems he is not satisfied and has opted to throw diplomacy out the window. Maybe we need to bring in Gianni Infantino again to make up some other FIFA prize for him.
Breaking news now here on Sky News, and those countries that have been threatened with increases in tariffs by President Donald Trump have put out a joint statement. They are Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden and the United Kingdom. And their statement says, as members of NATO, we're committed to strengthening Arctic security as a shared transatlantic interest. And they certainly appear committed to sticking together on this one in the face of that threat from Donald Trump. We know that ambassadors of the EU are meeting this afternoon to discuss the issue as well.
According to ABC News, European leaders are convening a, quote, extraordinary meeting later this week in direct response to Trump's escalating pressure around Greenland, something that the people of Greenland could not be more against.
I think he has lost his mind. I hope that there soon will be some more clever people in the States who will tell him, no, it's not going to work, this thing.
And that's the thing too, is like I feel like the Trump supporters, the MAGA people or whatever, right? I feel like they got to be dwindling, right? There's no way that those numbers aren't dwindling. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that those numbers aren't dwindling. Like there's no way that his supporters are going to just keep on. I mean, sure, some of the diehard ones. The people in power, of course, they're in power. They want to keep that power. But like you're just general, like public, your average Americans out here that's supporting Trump, I don't think that they're just going to keep on doing it. I really don't. You know, it's like they look the other way, right? Trump's rough around the edges, right? And so people look the other way and it's like, oh, well, you know, we know he's rough, he's this, he's that, but it's okay because of this, right? And then insert good thing he done here, right? To support their, you know, whatever, right? The reason that they're being a Trump supporter. But it's like, you can't this isn't something that's just like a personality flaw or, you know, this is like, you've gone too far. You know, you're on the path of world domination. You've lost your mind. I mean, you know,
you have to retire in some way or
another. Yeah, give it up, guy.
To make it successfully for you too. But I think he has lost his mind a month ago.
It's a bit like a spoiled child turned old, and you think he can, and he can think he can scare people. He can't scare Greenlanders. We're not scared.
Can't scare Greenlanders. They came from Vikings. They ain't scared of shit.
Fight them to the end. We will never give in. And we are so happy we have so good allies.
I cannot really imagine that he can have Greenland and he can put pressure on, yes, but I hope really he wouldn't succeed in it. But we don't know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows,
No.
But we have a lot of allies and now they are stepping up.
I hope that the American people as well get their eyes opened to see this is not a good way to treat anybody.
That's right. It's not a routine summit, not a scheduled forum. It's an extraordinary meeting to deal with an unprecedented threat from someone they thought to be their closest ally. This is the heads of all 27 nations being pulled into an emergency level conversation because of what the US president is continuing to say and threatening to do.
pull out of NATO if it doesn't help you acquire Greenland? If it doesn't lead
well, we're going to see. NATO has been dealing with us on Greenland. We need Greenland for national security very badly. If we don't have it, we have a big hole in national security, especially when it comes to what we're doing in terms of the Golden Dome and all of the other things. We have a lot of investments in military. We have got the strongest military in the world, and it's only getting stronger. And you saw that with Venezuela. You saw that.
It doesn't matter, strongest military or not. I could be the strongest person in my neighborhood. It doesn't mean that that gives me the authority to just bust in some old lady's house and steal her house. Right? It's not about being strong. It's about being like a good person, right? Like, come on now. It's crazy. It's like a comedy show. It's not supposed to be a comedy show. But it is. It's...
Venezuela, you saw that with the attack on Iran, with the knocking out their nuclear capability potentially. So, yeah, we're talking to NATO.
Trump's renewed demand for complete and total control of Greenland, paired with threats of tariffs aimed at multiple NATO-aligned European countries, has resulted in pushback across the EU.
Gerade ständig neue Provokationen. Wir erleben ständig ein neues Gegeneinander, das Präsident Trump sucht. Und hier müssen wir Europäer deutlich machen, die Grenze ist erreicht. Alles das zeigt, in was für einer Phase der Umbrüche wir gerade leben.
ABC reports that the White House is threatening a 10% tariff on goods from 8 NATO countries, including Denmark, after those countries participated in a Greenland military exercise.
And the thing with that is, like, isn't that just going to also hurt us too? Like the American, you know, he's like, oh, well, I care about America and I care about American people. Well, first of all, he's not here caring about the American people. He's trying to take Greenland and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just wasting money. He's about to be wasting money to buy. And then if he successfully bullies Denmark into selling Greenland, first of all, now you're just wasting taxpayer dollars to buy something that's unnecessary. You don't even need to buy it anyways. You can already put a damn military base there. And it's like, we need public transportation. I was just looking at my tax thing today when I was redoing my registration earlier. They're charging me like $35 for like some sort of public transportation infrastructure tax. Where in the hell is this? Where's that at? Where's it? I don't have no public transportation infrastructure around here, but they're taxing me for it. Kind of thing, you know? It's like, put the money into this country for our people, not trying to go buy other countries that you don't even need to be buying. Nobody wants you to buy it anyways.
Here's the part that contradicts the Trump narrative, right? Trump sells the tariffs as leverage, as though allies will panic and fold. But why don't we check in on how that worked the last time he implemented his tough guy tariffs on Canada?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, the tariffs, it's just gonna hurt us. So on top of you just wasting our money somewhere else, got tariffs that's on all the goods. Well, what if I wanted to buy something from Denmark or the Netherlands or something, right? Well, now it's like I got to pay an extra 10% as well. Like, well, thanks.
I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
His strengths, for example, in electric.
Hold on, what about the new world order? Because I thought that was some satanic shit. Hold on, sorry guys, we got to check this out again.
His tough guy tariffs on Canada.
I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
His strengths.
So I'm not like a religious person or this and that, but like I'm pretty sure the Bible says something about the New World Order was like some evil shit or something, right? Like I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not religious. Now the Bible very good for his historical stuff and like a lot of great stuff with that. Very interesting shit.
For example, in electric vehicles are formidable. They're undeniable. These are the most affordable and energy efficient and innovative vehicles in the world. And for Canada to build our own competitive EV sector, we need to learn from, partner with, and access and build supply chains with China. To help deliver on the full potential of these partnerships, and to bring down costs for Canadians. We're going to start by allowing up to 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles into the Canadian market at the most favored nation tariff rate, which is 6.1%.
Oh, that's right. They rekindled economic ties with China, the country that Trump continues to reference as a means to justify his want to annex Greenland. And much like Canada, the EU is calling his bluff, instead mobilizing around international law and standing in solidarity with Denmark and Greenland. European Council President Antonio Costa explicitly cited the, quote, significance of recent developments as the reason for this meeting and framed Europe as united around solidarity and legal order. So yeah, when people are warning Trump's second term would be worse, you have all 27 European leaders convening urgently because they think that the US is destabilizing Arctic sovereignty. And that's what this meeting is, right? Damage control for Trump's rhetoric. And the result is this is how America first simply becomes America alone. All because allies stop trusting the person holding the wheel.
And I may do that for Greenland too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little, I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen.
Is there a way to—
So speaking of these tariffs, so the last time, the tariffs were in effect, and I bought a little computer board. I was trying to make my IRL live streaming bag thing. And so I got a good deal on a little computer board from like China or something, right? I spent it was like $15 or $20. That's it. They wanted like $45, $50 or something stupid for tariff fees. So I refused the package. I sent it back. Well, guess what? I thought that would just end it all. Well, guess what? Now I didn't get my package. I lost the money that I spent on that plus shipping, which was it was like $40 total. Wasn't terrible, too bad. But I didn't want to pay an additional $50 or $55 or whatever it was on top of that. So I'm like, no, I'm not accepting this package. Send it back, right? Well, it turns out I lost the package, lost the money I spent on the package, and guess what? They sent me a bill, and they're still charging me for the $55 tariff charge, even though I didn't even accept the damn thing. So thank you, Mr. Trump, for that. And you want to say you care for the American people. I think not. Back to the video. Sorry, I'm in a pissed off mood today, guys. The system is not fair.
To address the president's security concerns without handing over Greenland that both sides might support?
No, because this has nothing to do with actual security concerns. This is the president being an idiot. And he is really excited about the idea of taking this big piece of land that's on a map. And he's just using any excuse to actually cover up his idiotic idea.
I think what it is because he's like, oh, well, I got to go down in the record books. This and that. Oh, Nobel Peace Prize. No. Then he gets all butthurt because you don't get the Nobel Peace Prize. And he's like, okay, so I'm just going to go take over a bunch of land. And then I'll go down in the record books as being like the president that like gained the most land for America. I think that's what's going on in his orange delusional brain.
And then you have people like, J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. They're coming up with all these weird excuses. We have access to Greenland. We have a base in Greenland. The Kingdom of Denmark has said you could expand all the bases you want. They have agreed to work with us on economic issues. They've agreed to any type of economic treaty to secure mineral rights, whatever it is. They'll do anything because they certainly don't want to work. But this is just a fit of fancy this president is having. And then all his court jesters around him are coming up with an excuse because the real reason is really dumb. It's just the president is an idiot. And we're all trying to come up with excuses. But the fact is, at the core base, this president is an idiot. And now he's putting that foreign policy into effect, which is going to negatively affect us in the long run in terms of our national security.
Breaking news. The president is in fact an idiot.
Not be more apparent that Trump's leadership through strength is failing.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming
custom emojis. Ooh, how fun. So let's see, Trump. We're going to pull up the actual letter, the exchange between Trump and the Danish prime minister, right? should find it, right? Dump, or I said dump. Trump, Danish Prime Minister. Oh, I didn't even spell it right. Hold on, guys. Give me a second here to fix my mistakes here. I'm just a dumbass American here. Dump. Trump. I keep saying dump. Why am I saying it? Maybe it's because President Trump is taking a big dump on us. Maybe that's why. Oh, boy. Where's the letter? It's a text message, right? Maybe it's on X. I got to go over there, don't I? Trump links Greenland bid to Nobel Peace Prize snub and does it show the? Okay, right here. I think it shows the. Well, why can't we just find the actual message? Let's see. Trump, Danish Prime Minister. Text. All right. Okay, so right here. Let's see, is this the right one? I think this is the right one. So, but there should be a message. So there's a message. So he was addressing, so the Danish Prime Minister was basically like, mentioning something about the tariffs or something, right? So then Trump was responded with this right here. I'm going to go ahead and read it out. It says, we have subsidized Denmark and all of the countries of the European Union and others for many years by not charging them tariffs or any other forms of remuneration. Now, after centuries, it is time for Denmark to give back. World peace is at stake. China and Russia want it. Or China and Russia want Greenland, sorry, and there is not a thing that Denmark can do about it. He's being a bully, right? They currently have 2 dog sleds as protection. Again, being a bully, I think. I don't even know if that's true. One added recently, so I guess he's saying they just got their new dog sled. Only the United States of America under President Donald J. Trump can play in this game, and very successfully at that. Nobody will touch this sacred piece of land, especially since the national security of the United States and the world is at large. And the world at large is at stake. On top of everything else, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland have journeyed to Greenland for purposes unknown. This is a very dangerous situation for the safety, security, and survival of our planet. That's basically him making more threats. These countries who are playing this very dangerous game, he's the one playing the dangerous game, anyways, have put a level of risk in play that is not tenable or sustainable. Therefore, it is imperative that in order to protect global peace and security, strong measures be taken so that this potentially perilous situation end quickly and without question. Starting on February 1st, 2021, all of the above-mentioned countries, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland, will be charged a 10% tariff on any and all goods sent to the United States of America. On June 1st, 2026, the tariff will be increased to 25%. This tariff will be due and payable until such time as a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. The United States has been trying to do this transaction for over 150 years. That's just him trying to take the blame off himself. Oh, it's not me. Oh, my country's been trying to do it for 150 years. You know, that's just him trying to put the blame, put it on somebody else, I think. Many presidents have tried, and for good reason, but Denmark has always refused. Yeah, so then this is the part where he asserts himself to be better than previous presidents. Oh, they failed. I'm going to succeed. Oh, they've been trying. Oh, they started it. It's not me. He's an idiot. It says, now, because of the Golden Dome and modern-day weapon systems, both offensive and defensive, the need to acquire is especially important. Hundreds of billions of dollars are currently being spent on security programs having to do with the dome. Exactly, right, yeah, so that's why they're not fixing our roads. That's why we don't have the public transportation and the health care and all this sort of stuff that we should have, because of these hundreds of billions of dollars that are being spent, right? Anyways, on security programs having to do with the dome. including for the possible protection of Canada, and this very brilliant but highly complex system can only work at its maximum potential and efficiency because of angles, meets, and bounds. I don't know what a meet is. I don't know. If there's land is included in it, the United States of America is immediately open to negotiation with Denmark and or any of these countries that have put so much at risk despite all that we have done for them, including maximum protection over so many decades. Thank you for your attention to this matter. What does he mean by what we've all done for them? We help each other out. And I'm pretty sure there was something I read that said something about, and one of the Middle East operations that United States did, the Danish forces actually helped the United States and then actually suffered more casualties and suffered a bigger loss. And it wasn't even their fight. They were just helping America. And then, you know, and then Trump wants to do this to them. So, blah, blah, blah to him, right? Anyways, I'm going to go through the chat, see what you guys are thinking, see what's being said over here. America could always send troops to Greenland because of the peace treaties made a long time ago. This is just Trump's ego. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. It'd be wise for some European countries to take our gold back that the U.S. has in its guard since World War II before going in with a stretch leg. Oh, do we have Europeans' gold? Why do we have your guys' gold? I'm sorry. If you don't get why Trump wants Greenland, PIL? What does that mean, PIL? Just start to reference to Trump as a president of Venezuela. Yeah, oil and rare earth. What's good, everyone? How's it going, Mandy? What's North? He wants North and South America. Probably. That's where it'll end up, ain't it? Trump goes to Davos too. What's Davos? Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, I second that, Neek. Thank you for that. Yes, please do, guys. Hit the like button. Spam the comments. Get that engagement rate up if you want to have a nice conversation in the comments. It just helps the channel grow, helps the video spread and all that good stuff. It says, you seem... Oh, wait, you're responding to somebody else. Anyways, the ones objecting against Trump aren't your friends. They're just different enemies. Greenland wants Greenland. It was a letter to the Norwegian Prime Minister. Yeah. Read the mail he got from Ruta. It's even worse than the daddy thing. What is the daddy thing? Wait, what? Hold on. What am I missing? So the mail he got from Ruta. Are you talking about Trump or the Danish Prime Minister got mail from Mark Ruta? Ruta. I don't know how you say his name. Are you saying Diddy? Did you mean Diddy thing? Because it shows daddy on this chat. It says, if you think that in any way touch me wrong, you get back. I don't see Norway. It was an email, not a tweet. Okay, it was an email. I thought it was a text message or something. I guess email, that would make sense. I guess it would be kind of long for a text, right? This is the Truth Social post. The letter he wrote was to Norway. Oh, I always forget about that Truth Social thing, yeah. I put it on my phone just to like keep up with, you know, since evidently the notifications he puts there first, but I never really get on there and look, and I always just have notifications I just clear. They're in my way. And speaking in third person is so weird. Oh, Trump was? Oh, in that letter, was he? Oh yeah, he was. That's psychotic behavior, isn't it? I just joined. Have you read the letter he wrote to the Norwegian state minister? Yeah, we did. I don't know if you commented that before we got to that or not, because I kind of scrolled up a little bit in the chat. The 11th Airborne Division is moving to Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota, they're having a whole lot of problems too. So that's the thing where it's like, there's a lot of issues in Minnesota at all, and it's like it's hard. You know, again, I'm in the middle I'm in the middle. But I don't like all these crazy protests. I don't like the violence in the streets. I don't like the fraud that's taking place and stuff like that. There's a lot of situations going on in the world, guys. Situations with situations in them. After 9/11. Oh, Davos is a city? In where? Where's that at? After 9/11, USA invoked Article 5. NATO agreed and fought in Afghanistan. This is Trump's way of saying thanks. Oh, Afghanistan. Is that where Danish people ended up losing more troops than the US, I think? It might have been. Also, France wants to use the anti-coercion instrument. What's anti-coercion? Read the post from Putin yesterday. That'll be fun. The post from Putin? Okay, so Putin post. See if anything pops up. Europe stands with Ukraine and Greenland. So do I, guys. So do I. I am not the government. Not the government, unfortunately. Things would probably be a little bit of a better place here if I was. Or not. Maybe people would be mad at me. Who knows? I mean, you can't make everybody happy, right? I mean, half of everybody's going to be pissed off. That's why everything's always so split, right? So where's this? Where does Putin make posts at? Let me go through. Let's see here. West or WEF city, Davos. I was thinking of you when I hear the news now. What were you thinking about Trump's decisions? By the way, hi from the Netherlands. I'm thinking it's not good. Thinking it's not good, guys. Probably Taco doesn't read between the lines. He thinks Russia is in favor of him. Why does everybody call him Taco, actually? Where did that come from? I know what it means. I know Taco means Trump. I know this. I just don't understand why. Sorry, I'm a dumb American, guys. Love your videos, man. Hope this shit show blows over quickly. Already lost my gaming friend group of 15 plus years because in their eyes, I'm sadly now a radical left douchey. Yeah, that sucks. Sometimes, you know, it's like maybe they weren't your real friends, I guess, right? I mean, and I'm not radical left either. I'm not, you know, and I'm not saying you're radical left, you know, and that's the thing is like I'm in the middle. Just because you have an opinion that also the left people would have or also the right people would have doesn't mean you're also that. You know, I wanted to get rid of all the illegal migrants that were busting through the border. You know, and people could say that, oh, well, that's a pro-Trump thing. No, I just want my country to not be invaded, right? I mean, I'm sure you don't want your country invaded by illegal migrants, gang members that's raping children. I'm sorry, and I hope the video don't get demonetized because I said that word. I forgot. I got to be careful what I say. Certain words, YouTube don't like that. But yeah, the world sucks right now, guys. Hi, Charlie. How's it going, Yolanda? Maybe somebody was smart enough to occupy. That's somebody. We're responding to somebody else. Let's see. Oh, Davos, Switzerland. So Trump's going to Switzerland? Is that what it was? Greetings from Belgium. How's it going, Danielle? Danielsk. I did not pronounce that right. I'm sorry, but greetings regardless. You call them ICE. Back in the day, we called them SS. Yeah, but see, the difference is see, that's the thing with the ICE thing. People say that they're like automatically like bad. Not saying they're good people at all, but like there's genuinely a lot of misinformation out there. There's genuinely like some of these illegal migrants aren't supposed to be here. They're gang members and they have like murder charges or like RAPE charges against children and stuff like that. And so that's different in my eyes than the SS. The SS is just like, oh, well, you're Jewish, I'm going to get rid of you kind of thing. Or you're helping the Jewish, I'm going to get rid of you based on it. It's not a race thing. It's not a race thing. You know. And again, they're not perfect. Again, you cannot trust law enforcement. You cannot trust the government at all. At all. I'm not saying these people are perfect at all. But sometimes it's necessary and to just blatantly impede justice, you know. They're specialized in Arctic warfare. Never hold citizens accountable for their government decisions. Yes, thank you, because I didn't make the rules, guys. I'm not the one in charge doing all this stuff. I wouldn't mess with Greenland. I'd let you guys keep it. You know, and if I was afraid of a security thing, then sure, I'd go build a base there, right? I would be allowed to since 1951, but I wouldn't take it. There's no reason for that. Taco, Trump always chickens out. Oh, okay, okay. Makes sense. Hopefully he chickens out this time, but I don't know, guys. I think he's dead set on taking Greenland. Unfortunately, it's going to cause a lot of problems. I mean, obviously, it's already causing a lot of problems, right? Davos, Eastern Switzerland is often where international agreements are reached. Oh, okay, like an international court of law type situation. Okay. Trump always chickens out in reference to Trump always backing out of the tariffs in the last minute. He didn't back out last time. I got hit with I owe tariff fees for a package I didn't even receive. That sucks. Why all the ads in the live stream that love the stream? Oh, I don't know. I'm not. It's just on automatic. I don't know when the ads pop up, actually. Mandy, thanks for the super chat. 11 euros. Hit that like and subscribe, people. Hey, thanks, Mandy. Yes, guys, hit that like. Well, I was trying to hit hard on. There we go. Hearted your comment. I'm good, thank. Probably Switzerland because it's where Interpol can't get his ass and get him. The Hague International Court. Oh, Interpol. Oh, because Switzerland's its own thing, huh? Marianne Trump said in a newspaper, he's an idiot with zero common sense and no social skills, but he is my son. I just hope he never goes into politics. He'd be a disaster. Oh, Trump's mom said that? Well, she's rolling in her grave right now, isn't she? She's not happy with her son. Genuinely, Native Americans are colored people who are American citizens being arrested by ICE. So yes, a law is a race thing. See, that's the thing is like that's I've not heard. I've done a lot of watching a lot of videos and a lot of coverage that I've seen, and I've not seen that. I've seen people suggest that. I've seen people suggest it based on videos that they watch that are misinforming people. And then they reiterate what they see or whatever. But like, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I could be completely wrong. I just personally, in all the stuff that I've been watching, I haven't seen that. I've not seen the actual American citizens. Now I've seen people that have dual citizenship and criminal stuff, this and that are, you know, I've seen that. So I don't know. Again, you're not saying you're wrong at all. Again, there could be something that I have not seen, right? But as of right now, I have not seen that. I've seen misinformation stating that and making it seem like that's the case. Hey, Dolly, how's it going? Sorry to hear about what's going on, Dolly. Anti-coercion instrument means that there will be no trading in goods and services going to and from the U.S. and every investment in the U.S. market will stop. Okay, so yeah, that's going to mess things up, right? Never about ICE being as ass, but being used by Trump. He's not well, he's sick. Yeah, he's doing, he's got like a brain bug, guys. Trump's got like something, it's like a bug that's just crawling around in there, and it started chewing on the wrong spot. Man, they might not let me come back after this stream, right? If they let me go over there, if World War III doesn't pop off. We all wake up in a nightmare called Donald Trump that includes you and your family, Charlie. Yes, thanks, guys. Yeah. Strange how we don't get tariffed for Netflix, Prime, YouTube, Premium, and all the services from the U.S. Interesting. Hey, just be glad you don't, right? But did you watch the Greenlandic politician's speech that I suggested? I seen something on my phone pop up. It's in Discord, right? Hold on. Let me pull up my Discord here. Where's my? Let me find it. Okay, we're opening up over there. I never know where it's gonna pop up on this computer. It's on Discord, yeah. All right, cool. Brain worm like JFK Jr. JFK Jr. Are you talking about RFK? Or wait. His is like he has like a long like a thing with his voice if it's RFK. Story from Russia was in the official newspaper January 2026. The Russian government newspaper Rosyolko Gazeta. Hold on, let me see. Let me copy that if it'll copy. And paste that over here. And then that story. Taking forever to start up. I don't know why. Sorry. Oh, it's down here again. It moved on me. All right, so let's see. We're probably in video suggestions. I don't get on here very often. I seen the notification on my phone earlier, but I was really busy trying to figure out my stuff with the BMV at the time. Oh, wow. Evidently, I haven't been in this section of Discord since November 2025. All right, right here. Hard-hitting, level-minded statement from a Greenlandic politician speaking on how they read the situation right now. Okay, cool. Let me click on this and drag that over here.
So I think Trump doesn't know about Greenlandic people. We don't really value cash and Kardashian lips and fake boobs and stuff like that very highly. Actually, you cannot even own land in Greenland. You can get an allotment for your house and then you own the house on top of the land. But Greenlanders don't believe.
No, they weren't treated that well. They almost decimated an entire race. I actually have Native American ancestry. I'm related to Pocahontas. I'm not direct. So my family tree I guess it don't matter. I go on tangents. I'm going to avoid that. Anyways, Native American DNA. I'm caught in the middle of that whole situation too, but it's not recent. So it's not like, it was in the past, right? Obviously I didn't know any of the people that it affected directly, but it's a whole thing. Oh shit. The video is muted. How did that? Thank you. Sorry. Wow. I'm glad I caught that. I wasn't looking at the... We're going to restart this video, guys. So you heard me respond to something. You don't even know what I responded to, so we'll find out now. Yeah, my streams are so professional, guys. It's the creme de la creme of YouTube, the Cadillac of YouTube channels.
So I think Trump doesn't know about Greenlandic people. We don't really value cash and Kardashian lips and fake boobs and stuff like that very highly. Actually, you cannot even own land in Greenland. You can get an allotment for your house and then you own the house on top of the land. But Greenlanders don't believe in the...
That's why all their houses are on stilts. That's why all their houses are on stilts, because they don't own the land under it. They got to put it up on top.
Land is for one person, is for everyone. And so is the seas, like the riches that we have there. So it's a big miscalculation that he thinks that Greenlanders would be incited by cash or something like that. We're not.
My camera outline thing broke, evidently. Oh, well.
And even if you were to say like $100,000 per person or something like that, we wouldn't give up free healthcare. We wouldn't give up free education.
That's the thing. That's the thing. They get the free healthcare. They get the free education. I want that. I thought Trump was like, let's make America great again. Well, if we were trying to be great, we would also have those things, right? But instead of focusing on those things, we're just going to focus on taking over the world, starting wars, even though he said he's the president that's not going to start no wars or something like that, right? But, you know, turns out he's a big old orange liar, guys.
We wouldn't give up being a part of Europe. We wouldn't give up on our sovereignty eventually. And we're a very sovereign people within the Kingdom of Denmark. We're autonomous right now. We do not want to be rich like the Americans are. See how greedy they are. They're even trying to shoot their friends or invade their friends just for greed. And we know that there's minerals and oils possibly in our underground, and that's worth so much more even than that. But even if we didn't have that, we would still not be bought.
Yeah, but look at like Norway, right? Like, didn't Norway get like stupid rich from the oil, right? Norway has like one of the highest, like, is it GDP or something? Or I don't even know, right? Like, there's something to do with some oil money in Norway and shit, right? That's what Trump, he's just trying to do that. It is greed. It is greed. That was the end of the video? No, it's not. Okay.
So everyone here knows about the Inuit in Alaska and all of the native tribes, Indians, American Indians who are there. Their land was taken from them and they haven't been treated that well in America.
That's what I was responding to earlier when there was no audio. That's why I said I inflicted on that, because they were not treated well at all. I mean, you decimated an entire culture, took over the land, you pushed them to tiny little itty bitty reservations, Indian reservations, and most of that's not even in the area that the Indians were from, the Native Americans were from. Like, they're like woodlands Indians, so let's just push them out to the middle of the desert. They're used to being in like Georgia in the woodlands, so let's just put them in fucking Kansas in a desert and just sure.
And we know that Trump is very much surrounding himself, at least with the white power people. And we are not white, as you can see. We are of color. And so we know our rights probably would be taken away. And we also know that we're very good as we are together with Denmark. As mentioned before, we have free healthcare, we have free study. Whatever you want to study, you can do that for free. And actually, government will give you money to study.
Yeah, see, why don't we have that here? Oh, yeah, duh, because we're too busy trying to take over the fucking world. Yeah, it takes a lot of money to do that, right? Got to build bombs and shit. Yeah, I guess that's why we don't get education here. Yeah, not free education. Because, again, it takes a lot of money to do all these wars. So if somebody wants to get educated, well, better charge them a bunch of money so we can make more bullets, pretty much. Fuck fixing the sidewalks or putting in some fucking cycle pass. No, that would take away our budget from taking over the world.
So while you're studying, you're getting a grant from your government. So all of that we wouldn't trade for, like the welfare state, we wouldn't trade for anything in America. But also, you have to remember, a lot of Greenlanders have family, like their mother or father or grandmother or grandfather who's Danish. We do have a 400 years history together or more in terms of being interconnected in that way. So. And we're also seeing a lot of protests in America right now that is unsettling, with the ICE agents who are sort of going after a lot of people. And from here, it looks like maybe he's going a lot after brown people. And we are considered brown people, as you can see.
Well, the thing with the ICE, again, like she said, the way it looks, that's all agenda, right? The left is trying to... a lot of that's being twisted, and a lot of the reason why the ICE agents are going after people that are brown is because there's a lot of people that have darker skin that snuck into this country that then went and done criminal activity, this and that. You know, if there was somebody from the Netherlands that also snuck into the country and diddled some kids, I'm sure the ICE would probably come get you, and I'd probably want them to come get you too, because I don't want no child diddlers in my country, right? I mean, that's fair to say. You know.
So, yeah, we would rather stay with Denmark. Thank you. America has had up to 17 bases here, and they have closed them all down except for one, the Bidufik Space Base.
Yeah, they closed them all down. Well, why is that? Well, maybe it wasn't a big security issue, right? You know, you could always just open them back up, send people back there if it was a security issue, right?
And America could amp up the base presence, their military presence, and even their military capabilities here all they wanted to. So that is not the argument. And of course, everyone in Greenland knows this. We may not be many, but we read, we're educated, and we know about the news of the world, right? Especially regarding our own country. So we know about the treaties that we have with America. This is very much akin to when you have a dog sledge team, when he's using that analogy, and one of the dogs all of a sudden turns around and bites you. You have to take it out of the kennel. You have to take it outside and shoot it. Of course, we're not going to shoot Americans. We're peaceful people, but you cannot trust that dog anymore forever. America has 10,000 soldiers who are for combat in Arctic society. Finland alone has 35,000. We also could impose if we wanted to escalate stuff, we could also impose like dropping all American Treasury bonds, right? That would hurt. We also have, when you look at France and Canada and all of the allies that are coming to our rush right now, a very big arsenal actually of soldiers and of weapons especially. I mean, America had to borrow Denmark's warship for Arctic seas. So, I mean, it's not a given that America would win here. We fought alongside America in a lot of other wars around the world because we wanted to adhere to the treaties that we had gone through. But they have seen that some of the street fighting in Syria, for example, has been very, very hard on Western soldiers, right? I imagine it would probably be the same in Greenland. It would be like something else. So I wouldn't laugh it off, but of course nobody wants war and nobody wants to be invaded. Of course there are bad chapters with Denmark and Greenland because we have a 400-year history. But actually I also saw a YouTube video that kind of emerged recently that said American soldiers were very bad to some of our people here too in Assuk, which is a small settlement in here. Some of the elders that remember them also said, well, those guys were really not that good. So it really doesn't matter what happened between Denmark and Greenland. We'll figure that out. Denmark and Greenland is fine as we are. We will figure it out. If we want to be independent, Greenlanders should be able to decide that, not with pressure from a superpower somewhere. And we are well aware that if we became independent tomorrow, he would just invade us because he would have no problems with NATO, Europe, you know, everything else. So I think he's banking sort of in a very insulting way that Greenlanders are like stupid, uneducated people who doesn't follow the news around the world, and we're not. It's the exact opposite. We're going to be here hundreds of years after Donald Trump. Even if he invaded us, I think we would just wait him out like bad weather. Everyone here knows that the weather decides. If we get a storm, we may have to hunker down for a day or two, and we will hunker down for a year or two, or even 10 years or 20 years, and then we'll go back to Denmark as soon.
They're used to hunkering down. They're in the Arctic. Like, they're used to staying in their house and just chilling, you know?
As soon as Trump and his likes were gone, everyone wants a peaceful solution. Donald Trump is the only one who seems to want to fight. And I don't even think the American military would want to fight. It just seems crazy and unhinged.
That's the thing, too. The American military, what exactly happens when... Because you can't, you know, it's like, yeah, sure, you're in the military, you're supposed to follow orders. I get that. But if I was in the military and my orders were like, okay, well, we're shipping you off to Greenland, you got to go take over this village, I'm probably going to look at the commanding officer and tell him to go fuck himself, to be honest with you. Honestly, right? I mean, you know, so how much of that's going to happen? That's interesting to think about, right? Like, how many people are going to basically say, hey, no, we're not doing it. And is there going to be a mass walkout in the U.S. military force or something like that, right? Like, I'm a deserter. Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess so, right?
It seems like he's going to pay off some of his wealthy donors so he can run for president a third time, to be honest. That's what most Greenlanders are thinking. We don't know.
You can't do that though. It's locked at 2 terms, and if he does something to try to like undo that, then I guess that would be a dictator thing to do if that's what he's trying to do, right?
Oh, but that's what we're thinking. They already did a poll last year. 6% only was pro-American. I have seen a lot of videos on social media lately where they are saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong about MAGA, I was wrong about America. So I would think it would be even less percent now. So only 6% a year ago, and I think probably even fewer now.
The only people that's in Greenland right now that supports becoming part of the United States is the dumbass Greenland teenagers that don't know shit about politics. I've seen videos before where there's Nick Shirley went to Greenland like 7 or 8 months ago when Trump first started talking about this. And he was interviewing all sorts of people up there to get the consensus of what the Greenland people have to say about it, right? And it was basically the uneducated don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Greenland teenagers are dumb. I'm saying all teenagers are dumb. We all know this, all on Earth. Some, not all of them, but some can be. Some can be very highly intelligent. But again, you got a teenager that don't care about news. They're not following it. They're just out having fun in Greenland. They're just like, oh yeah, we want to be part of USA. They don't know what they're really saying, right? But in the interviews that he did, it seemed like basically that was the only people that was like, yeah, let's be part of America. Everybody else, like pretty much everybody that was like above the age of like 17 seemed like they were like, no, dude, no. We'd rather be like part of Denmark or by ourselves before we ever join America. You know what I'm saying?
85% overwhelmingly said no last year. As I said, I think the percentage is higher now. So no, decisively no. Nobody wants NATO to be pitted against each other. Nobody. I mean, nobody, except maybe Donald Trump, and nobody knows why. We're thinking, is he too good friends with Putin, or what is happening here?
He's old. He's about to die, probably. He's only got a couple years left, so he's going crazy, and he's like, well, I have to hurry and scramble and do whatever I can do to make sure my name goes down in history forever. That's what he's doing. He couldn't get the Peace Prize. He's all pissed off and butthurt about it. So he's like, you know what? World domination, that'll do it. That'll do it for sure. What's he got to lose? He's going to be dead in a couple years. He's old. He's old as shit.
Nobody wants the Greenland.
And if you guys are also old, you're young. Take that back. Nobody here is that old. You guys are good. You're 82 years young out there. If you're watching in that age.
To be a battleground. But we have seen a lot of nations kind of step up. And as I mentioned, they're trying to do the last friendly gesture towards America, as well as displaying we do actually have military capabilities. We still want to be friends. But as you saw today, the Canadian Prime Minister, he went to China to try and make new relations. So if Donald Trump wants a new world order, okay, then that's what he's going to get. 74% of Americans, ordinary Americans, do not want to invade Greenland.
Right.
And I think probably amongst those 74%, most of the military capability is probably in there because they know they would be attacking a NATO ally. They know they would be going into a European country. And since World War II, the Western Hemisphere has kind of banded together. So it's very weird that he's trying to do that. Some Europeans are hoping that maybe he's just trying to get them to really amp up their military quick. I don't think so. I think he wants Greenland, but we'll see.
Yeah, so I think the only people that's like die hard, like, oh yeah, we have to take Greenland still, like the people that's actually supporting this, are going to be like your far right extremists, right? Because if anybody that's got like a rational thought in their head realizes that this is not the thing to do, right? So I'm going to be right back, guys. Don't go nowhere. Hit like. In the meantime, I got to go get me some more coffee, okay? And then we're going to check out because there's more stuff. There's more stuff we got to cover. All right, I got my coffee. Did you guys get some coffee too? All right, we're going to try to find that Putin thing. We're going to see if we got some tea. Nice. Ooh, I got a beer. What kind of beer are you drinking? Oh, yeah, I got a beer for probably tomorrow's stream. I think depending on when Amy works, we're going to go live and do a taste testing of that stuff that got sent, the unboxing that we did. That's for another stream another day. But I got a couple Polish beers I'm going to be drinking during that stream. Do a little day drinking tomorrow. Jägermeister. Oh, there you go. Jaeger. Ooh, you're having a night, aren't you? Having a night. Wine time. Hey, there you go. Wine's always good. Too late for coffee here, Charlie. Yeah. 7:14 in the Netherlands. Not too late for coffee, right? I mean, I guess depending on when you're going to sleep. Sometimes I drink coffee that late a little bit. Maybe that's why I don't sleep good at night, right? The Polish ones. Yeah, the Polish beer. I'll show you real quick. Hold on. Where did I put them? It's not really what the stream's about, but got one of those. Yeah, this will be like maybe tomorrow's stream. And we got a Warka. Yeah. But not today. I wanted to drink them last night. I really did, but I wanted to do it on stream, drink it with you guys. And so I'm just going to wait. So Putin, let's see. Oh, right here, the story from Russia. Yeah, because I put that on that tab there. It says January 2026, Russia's official newspaper, Rossiyakoye Gazeta, published articles gleefully reporting on Donald Trump's attempt to acquire Greenland, viewing it as a sign of transatlantic disunity, with commenters suggesting it could weaken NATO, which it, of course, right, and praising Trump's potential historical achievement. Even as Moscow watched, see, you know you're doing something bad when Putin's the only one out there cheering for you, right, guys? I mean, come on. So Putin's over there praising Trump's potential historical achievement. Okay, so they're jealous of each other. That's what it is. Even as Moscow watched for strategic gains despite potential Arctic implications. So according to news reports from Spokesman Review, Rolling Stone, Reuters, and Newsweek, the paper framed European resistance as obstruction to Trump's historic breakthrough, with some articles even suggesting Trump's annexation of Greenland could secure his place in history. I told you it was all about getting his name in history, guys. Aligning with Russian desires to see the West divided. You think Trump's a terrorist? You think that's what it is, guys? Is Trump a terrorist? Is he working with Russia, perhaps? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why they pretend to not like each other, but they're also best friends all the time, right? Maybe they're working together, guys. Maybe that's what it is. Could be. Isn't his fucking wife Russian or something, right? Like, or is she Ukrainian? What nationality is she? Who knows? Somebody knows. Let's see, glee over transatlantic split. Okay, so here's the key points from the the Russian newspaper journal thing. Glee over transatlantic split. It says the newspaper expressed delight at the growing rift between the U.S. and Europe, especially concerning Trump's Greenland interests. Slovenian. Okay, she's from Czech. She's Czech or Slovenian. Not Czech, Slovak. Okay, so she was probably from when it used to be Czechoslovakia together, right? And then yeah. So, but Slovenian. Was that part of the Soviet Union, though? Was that part of the Soviet Union? It could be. I mean, there could be still ties there. I don't know. No, Slovakia is different from Slovenia. Oh, okay. Sorry, I got a dumb American here. I don't know my geography. Slovenia was never Czech. Okay, yeah. So we got praise for Trump's ambitions. It says the article suggested Trump would be a historical figure if he took Greenland, potentially marking a collapse of the transatlantic union. So we're getting praise from Russia, guys. That's terrible. So the whole world hates us now. Russia's like, yeah, Trump, woo. Okay, so it says blame on Europe. European leaders were portrayed as obstacles to this historic breakthrough, risking NATO's collapse over Greenland. Strategic view. It says, while pleased with the division, Russia also saw potential security implications in the Arctic, according to reports. This coverage reflects Russia's strategy to exploit Western divisions, particularly within NATO, to further its geopolitical interests, notes Reuters and Newsweek. So, interesting, huh? Interesting, guys. Slovenia was part of Yugoslavia. Okay. No, Czech was not part of the Soviet Union where Melania was born. But Slovenia and Czech was former USSR. Okay, okay. Oh, wait, so Czechoslovakia was also not part of the Soviet Union, just the Eastern Bloc? Okay, so it may have been part of the USSR. Okay, so, I mean, how old is she? You know, I mean, you never know. I mean, it could be one of those things where it's like, well, have you seen the movie, what's that movie with the Russian spy? Shit. Angelina Jolie played in it. What is that? What is that? Hold on. Angelina. Russian spy movie. I don't know what to type in. It'll find it. Google's pretty smart. Salt. In this movie, Salt, they had like kids being kids and then being like nurtured and put into the world of you go to this country, you infiltrate, you become somebody powerful. And then when you're old and you're there and you've been there, you know, and the time is right, they activate you. Could Melania be a USSR spy or something? I don't know. I mean, it does seem like Trump's doing a lot of stuff that would make Russia happy. I mean, Putin's clearly happy about it. They're jumping for joy over there in Russia right now. All right, what we got here? Coffee time. That's right, NL Arthur. Greenland is uranium equals energy. Netherlands can process the raw material. It's what we can. So there's uranium there? She could be his daughter. Old, that is how old she is. Yeah. Definitely was not part of USSR. Okay, so, okay. Russia, you're mixing up Slovakia and Slovenia, I think. I hate that I have his daughter's name, this orange thing. Oh, that sucks. I mean, you know, your daughter's a lovely person, though. You know what? It has nothing to do with the name, right? She's a lovely person. It sucks that you don't like that because it's Trump's daughter's name also and all that, but look up Davos. Okay, yeah, so we're going to type in, is it Trump that's going there? Do I type in Trump Davos? We're going to do it here on Google. Because sometimes it might be just an article, and that's easier to find an article than a video about something. Did you see the WEF is making actual plans to distance themselves from the U.S.? What is the WEF, guys? What is that? Would be a nice movie script, though. Any Hollywood people out here? That's a good movie for you. Give me credit, though. And also, FVD gets credit. Give us each like 5%. Oh, yes, Charlie. We all know that Trump loves Putin. Seems like it. Did you react to Carney's speech yet? What is Carney's speech? Oh, is that the wait, are you talking about the letter that Trump wrote to the Norwegian guy? We checked that out earlier, yeah. He's in Russia. Hello everyone. He's best forbidden for mine for uranium in Greenland. Oh. So he wants to take over so he can do it. World Economic Forum. Okay. Carney's a Canadian guy. Oh, okay. I thought you meant Trump because Carney, like carnival, like because Trump's like a carnival type person. He's like a clown. I don't know. So anyways, Trump Davos. It says right here, Trump's Greenland threats hang over Davos summit. Live updates. Okay, so this is 3 minutes ago. This is just some live updates here. And let's see here. What we're covering today, it says Greenland global leaders delivered thinly veiled denunciations of President Trump's threats over Greenland on Tuesday with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada, giving a Syrian speech. In Switzerland, about a rupture in the world order. President Emmanuel Macron of France, also in Switzerland, for the World Economic Forum, ended his own speech by saying that Europe has little regard for bullies and prefers the rule of law to brutality. Mr. Trump fires off a series of mocking social media posts overnight that reinforced his designs on Greenland. Okay, so Mr. Trump is set to speak soon at the White House. Oh, is he? When is that happening? Mr. Trump says President Trump makes an appearance at a White House press briefing on the anniversary of his return to his office. Okay, so this is live. So we're waiting. So Trump could be going live anytime, evidently. Well, while we're waiting on that, I guess, see what he has to say, right? 18 minutes ago, we had, or actually, let's read the rest of this here. President Trump, this is from 5 minutes ago. President Trump has been talking about the possible use of U.S. military forces to seize Greenland, but the Pentagon has no imminent plans to do so. The two U.S. officials said on Tuesday they spoke on condition of an anonymity to discuss operational matters. When asked in an interview with NBC on Monday whether he would use force to take over Greenland, Trump responded, no comment. Okay, so we know what that means. While Pentagon planners plan for all sorts of military contingencies, they have not yet been directed to plan for an invasion of Greenland or the aftermath of such an operation, the officials said. So 19 minutes ago, a few dozen, it's probably been 22 minutes ago by now, a few dozen European troops in Greenland triggered Trump. Yeah, he did get butthurt about that. So Danish soldiers disembark at the port of Nuuk, Greenland on Monday. That's what the caption under the photo says. And then it says here, European leaders sent a small group of military personnel to Greenland last week to show solidarity with the island, an autonomous territory of Denmark, and to demonstrate a willingness to increase security in the Arctic. In total, France, Germany, Norway, Sweden, the Netherlands, Finland, and Britain dispatched a few dozen people. Denmark also increased its own military presence in Greenland. Yeah, so I wonder when he's supposed to be speaking. It's 1:27 now. Is it like a 1:30 kind of thing? Check out von der Leyen's speech. Von der Leyen's speech. I'm going to keep this open in this tab here. Von der Leyen. Let me see here. Von der Leyen speech. Special address by Commission President Ursula von... Okay, so that's 24 minutes. This one right here is 9 minutes. Is this just like a... I don't know when that speech is going to happen with Trump. I don't know if we have time to watch 40-minute long. This one's 9 minutes, so this might be just like a quicker run through. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to drag it to my other screen so I can see when it starts. And I'm going to take this call. I'll be right back. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get the card. Don't get the card. It's not went through yet. Sorry about that, guys. Amy called. She was working a double today, and she's kind of stuck there because the whole car situation. I made the payment, but it didn't go through yet, so it can't be drove yet. So I guess she's going to hang out at her work all day. Anyways. Uh-oh, hold on. We got something going on this. Let's see what this is. This is supposed to be... Somebody just came out. Are they getting it ready for Trump to do some sort of... Yeah, I think he's getting ready to do the thing. We're just gonna... I'll try to keep an eye on that. I'll put it like right here. And yeah, I'll put it there. Nothing's happening. We'll check this out right here. See what Ursula von der Leyen says. EU prepares for mother of all deals with India. What is that? What's this got to do with Greenland, though? Let's check it out anyways.
It's yours.
Sorry, my armpit was itching. No shame here, right?
President Brenda, dear Volker, thank you very much for the warm welcome. Your Majesties, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, it is now 56 years since the first meeting here in Davos.
Wrong part of the speech. Just check out Mark Carney. All right, let's do it. Mark Carney. It's the 40-minute, but it's mostly said in the first 5 minutes or so. It's about leaving the U.S. behind and making new alliances. Okay, the 40. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. See, you guys are awesome. You got my back. Got my back. More than I can say about my president. So we're watching this on Facebook, I guess. Hold on. Let me full screen it here. And hold on, I guess we got to manually turn the sound on. I don't watch videos on Facebook, so I didn't know that.
Pleasure to introduce our other co-chair, Andrea Hoffmann, and I would also like to use this opportunity to thank both of the co-chairs for their leadership during the last three-quarter of a year. Andrea Hoffmann, you know Andrea, many of you, he's our co-chair, but also the vice chair of Roche. So, Andrea, floor is yours.
Your Majesties, Excellencies.
So where's the girls? Hold on, when does she? We're just gonna skip. Where's the girl at? The Ursula. Yeah, this isn't that Ursula von der Leyen person. Oh wait, oh.
The European Union with clarity, resolve, and strong sense of purpose through some of the most demanding moments in history. Under your leadership, the European Commission has advanced a bold agenda for strengthening Europe's competitiveness with upholding its core values. As President of the European Commission, you have championed a Europe that is competitive yet fair, open yet resilient.
Is he going to keep talking? I thought she was going to. Okay, here we go. The guy was just keep talking. Hey, Daphne, how's it going?
President Brenda, dear Volker, thank you very much for the warm welcome. Your Majesties, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, it is now 56 years since the first meeting here in Davos. And the idea of the founder, Klaus Schwab, was to create a platform to discuss the issues and the ideas of the day. Of course, the world has transformed completely since 1971.
Yeah.
But the original idea of Davos has remained, as we just have heard in the speeches. So I was delighted that you have gone back to your roots with this year's theme, a spirit of dialogue. Because this spirit is all the more important in a world that is more fractured and more fractious than ever. 1971 was the year of the so-called Nixon shock and the decision to delink the US dollar from gold. In an instant, the foundations of the Bretton Woods system and the entire global economic order set up after the war effectively collapsed.
Yeah.
But it also had two major effects. It inadvertently created the conditions for what would become a truly global order, and it provided a sharp lesson for Europe and on the need to strengthen its economic and political power. It was a warning to reduce our dependencies, in this case, on a foreign currency. The world may be very different today, without any question, but I believe the lesson is very much the same. That geopolitical shocks can and must serve as an opportunity for Europe. And in my view, the seismic change we are going through today is an opportunity, in fact, a necessity, to build a new form of European independence. And this need is neither new nor a reaction to recent events. It has been a structural imperative for far longer. So when I use this term, European independence, around a year ago, I was surprised at the skeptical reactions. But less than 1 year on, there's now a real consensus around this. The sheer speed and almost unthinkable scale of the change have driven this, but the underlying imperative is still the same. The good news is we acted immediately, whether on energy or raw materials, defense or digital, we're moving fast. But the truth is also that we will only be able to capitalize on this opportunity if we recognize that this change is permanent. Of course, nostalgia is part of our human story, but nostalgia will not bring back the old order.
So she's the Minister of Defense of Germany, or she was the Minister of Defense of Germany, this girl here?
And playing for time and hoping for things to revert soon will not fix the structural dependencies we have. So my point is, if this change is permanent, then Europe must change permanently too. It is time to seize this opportunity and build a new independent Europe. And ladies and gentlemen, this new Europe is already emerging. On Saturday, I was in Asunción, in Paraguay, to sign the EU-Mercosur trade agreement. It was a breakthrough after 25 years of negotiations.
How do I get rid of that?
And with it, the European Union and Latin America have created the largest free trade zone in the world, a market worth over 20% of global GDP, 31 countries with over 700 million consumers aligned with the Paris Agreement. So this agreement sends a powerful message to the world that we are choosing fair trade over tariffs, partnership over isolation, sustainability over exploitation, and that we are serious about de-risking our economies and diversifying our supply chains. And that will not stop in Latin America.
Meanwhile, Trump wants isolation, right? Like,
last year, we reached new agreements with Mexico, Indonesia, and Switzerland, our host country. We're working on a new free trade agreement with Australia. We are also advancing with the Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, the United
I've seen enough BS. Good evening, all, and bye, Charlie. Take it easy, NLF. Arthur, I don't know what BS you're talking about. If are you mad that we don't want Trump to take Greenland? Or I'm confused with that, but take care. Thanks for watching. Anyways,
United Arab Emirates, and more. And right after Davos, the next weekend, I will travel to India. There's still work to do, but we are on the cusp of a historic trade agreement. Indeed, some call it the mother of all deals. One that would create a market.
Oh, maybe he doesn't like the negativity. Yeah, I mean, you're going to, there's going to be negativity anyways, though. That's the thing, is like, no matter what the situation is, half the people's going to be mad about it. I've been saying this recently, but all the politics aren't good for us. We're just trying to learn what it is, but I mean, I get it, it's not good for anybody, but like, hey, I mean, we could always just ignore it. Maybe the problem will go away if everybody ignores it. Maybe that's the plan. We just all ignore it and it'll go away. I don't think so. So sometimes we just have to address it and see what's going on.
Market of 2 billion people, accounting for almost a quarter of global GDP. And crucially, that would provide a first-mover advantage for Europe, with one of the world's fastest growing and most dynamic continents. Europe wants to do business with the growth centers of today and the economic powerhouses of this century, from Latin America to the Indo-Pacific and far beyond. Europe will always choose the world, and the world is ready to choose Europe.
Yeah, Europe's going to come out stronger, I think. I think Europe's going to come out a lot stronger. I have to go to work. Bye all. Charlie, take care of your heart. I've seen other American reaction type people almost in tears. Example, Ryan Rooser. Just be careful and don't feel personally ashamed of all this. Hey, thanks, Jenny. Take care. It sucks. It does suck. Really does.
And ladies and gentlemen, this reality also reflects the fact that Europe has all the assets it needs to attract investment. The savings, the skills, the innovation with our AI factories and gigafactories and the applications that are necessary, AI first. What we need now is to mobilize collectively these assets to their full potential and to focus on the essential. So focal point number one is to create a conducive and predictable regulatory environment. We live in an age where capital and data can cross Europe in a second, and business must be able to move just as freely. But as things stand, too many companies have to look abroad to grow and scale up, partly because they face the new set of rules every time they expand into a new member state. So while on paper the market is of 450 million Europeans open to them, it is far more complicated in reality. And that acts as a handbrake on the growth and profit potential of companies. So this is why we need a new approach. We will soon put forward our 28th regime. The ultimate aim is to create a new, truly European company structure. We call it EU Inc., with a single and simple set of rules that will apply seamlessly over our union, so that businesses can operate across member states much more easily. Our entrepreneurs, the innovative companies, will be able to register a company in any member state within 48.
Yeah, done talking about the U.S. part of it, I think. So, I wonder what time Trump... Let me pull this back over here and refresh the page and see if there's anything new. Nope, same thing. 26 minutes ago, where he responded no comment about whether he would use force to take over Greenland. This and that. So what time? Wonder what time Trump's supposed to speak. Let's see. Time is Trump speaking today. Let's see here. Updated 5 minutes ago. Trump about to speak at White House as Macron warns of shift to world without rules. Donald Trump will shortly speak at the White House after doubling down on his demands to own Greenland. Watch live at the top of the page. So they're going to have it up here too, I guess. Earlier, the U.S. president said there was no going back on his plan, claiming Greenland is imperative for national and world security. That's the scary part about it, is the fact that he says no going back. Like, he's dead set. So no matter what, that's his plan. That's the scary part. That's the part that's dragging us into World War III, I think. And I'm not a warmonger. I'm not trying to be out here spreading fear. But we know it's not going to be good, right? I'm just speculating, of course. I don't know what's going to actually happen. French President Emmanuel Macron warns of a shift towards a world without rules, telling world leaders in Davos the endless accumulation of new tariffs from the U.S. is fundamentally unacceptable. It comes after Trump announced new tariffs for countries that oppose his Greenland plan. Yes, we heard about that. The 10% is supposed to go into effect February something another.
President Macron of private messages. We've seen that sort of thing before from President Trump. Is there, again, when you talk to the teams around him and other senior
see what this
people
is
within the Washington political sphere, what's the reaction to that? Because it's pretty unprecedented, isn't it, at the top level of politics to disclose private messages?
Yeah, be careful who you message and who you WhatsApp. I think that's the lesson. And as you say, the president has done this before. I think he did it with the previous Secretary General, if I'm not mistaken. So they will be aware of that. They will be embarrassed, no question. But there's a calculation going on amongst some of these leaders, not all of them, some of them, that whatever it is, whatever it takes to keep in touch, keep a line of communication open with this president, they are prepared to do. Now, not all leaders take that view. We're starting to see some pretty harsh words from some European leaders. Emmanuel Macron comes to mind. The Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has been pretty strong. There's now talk about using the mechanisms of the European Union to hit back at the United States. And the European Union, whilst it lacks a certain coordination at times in terms of it being individual member states, of course, it is an enormous market. I mean, it's a really enormous market. And there are, close to 100 billion euros worth of business that could be sanctioned and tariffed. So there are all these sort of things moving at the moment. And the president, I think, seems to be prepared to push things to the very brink. He is the man that doesn't really blink. And he also sees the world in terms of a zero-sum game, which means if he wins, that's not enough. You have to lose.
And Gary, we are still watching the podium, expecting President Trump to appear for a press briefing. As we wait for President Trump, and it looks like he is stepping out towards that podium now with Caroline Levitt. There is President
as you
Donald
know,
Trump.
This is the anniversary, first anniversary, January 20th, and it's been an amazing period of time. We have a book that I'm not going to read to you, but these are the accomplishments of what we've produced. All page after page after page, individual things. I could stand here and read it for a week and we wouldn't be finished. But we've done more than any other administration has done by far in terms of military, in terms of ending wars, in terms of completing wars.
Well, you're starting one now,
Nobody's
aren't you?
really seen very much like it. I think it's appropriate that because Minnesota is so much in the fray, and I say to my people all the time, and they're so busy doing other things, they don't say it like they should. They're
apprehending murderers and drug dealers and a lot of bad people. And these are just some of the more recent ones that we have. And I can show you some of the people. Vicious, many of them murderers. These are all out of Minnesota, just Minnesota. I say, why don't you talk about that more? Because people don't know. Do you want to live with these people? International murder. These are people that are living, they're apprehended and either put in jails in their country from where they came, and the countries respect us, and so they actually put them there. In the old days, they didn't respect our country. Biden wouldn't do this because he let them all in. You know, if you didn't have open border policies of Biden, none of this, all of the things that all of the time that we spend talking about Minnesota and everything else, most of them are coming from out of the country. And it's been caused by a previous administration. Look at this, one after one.
Yeah, he does always talk about Biden a lot.
Boy, these are rough characters.
But to be fair, Biden was a terrible
criminal,
president.
Illegal aliens that,
I think.
in many cases, they're murderers, they're drug lords, drug dealers. They're the mentally insane. There's some of them who are brutal killers. They're mentally insane. They're killers, but they're insane. These are just in Minnesota. In California, it's worse. In other states, it's worse. No, Minnesota, the crime is incredible. The financial crimes are incredible. And the problem is because of the agitators and insurrectionists, whatever you want, troublemakers, but they're paid agitators and insurrectionists. Nobody talks about the fact that $19 billion at a minimum is missing in Minnesota, given to a large degree by Somalians. They've taken it.
Biden didn't make U.S. hated by former allies.
And they don't
He
do
opened
it.
the border up, though. I mean, that
Very
wasn't good.
low IQ people, they don't do it. Other people work it out, and they get them money, and they go out and buy Mercedes-Benzes, and they come from here, they have no money. They never had money. They never had a life. They never had a government. They never had a country, because there's basically no country. Somalia is not even a country. They don't have anything that resembles a country. And if it is a country, it's considered just about the worst in the world. They come here and they become rich and they don't have a job. I was told that Ilhan Omar is worth $30 million. She never had a job.
What if he's going to talk about Greenland?
She's a crooked congressman. So here is another one. And I have, oh, by the way, we just took out, these are all what ICE is doing. And it's a dangerous job. These are rough people. Weapons. This one here is very bad. I'm going through this because I think we have plenty of time. I'm going to beautiful place in Switzerland where we'll be. I'm sure I'm very
Biden didn't change anything concerning the border, even though orange. Biden.
In Switzerland, they don't know about this. They don't have
Stuff
this
isn't
problem. They have other
presented
problems,
properly.
but they don't have this
Biden
problem.
destroyed the border, honestly.
Killed somebody. And these are rough people. These are not.
I don't know why he keeps
this
talking
was
about it. I mean,
all
that's a done deal.
allowed
It's
into
over
our
with
country
at
through
this point.
Open borders. These dumbest policies. You know, men and women's sports is dumb. But to me, having an open border for the world to come in.
What about Greenland?
Drug dealers and prisoners.
Border's
Venezuela,
over.
as an example, opened their prisons into the United States. That's why one of the reasons I felt so strongly against Venezuela. Now I'm loving Venezuela. They've been working with us so well. It's been so nice. And an unbelievably nice woman also did a very incredible thing, as you know, a few days ago. We're talking to her, and maybe we can get her involved in some way. I'd love to be able to do that. Maria, maybe we can do that. But we're dealing with the people and the president and all of the people in Venezuela, and we've been doing great. The oil companies are getting ready to make massive investments there. They have more oil than even Saudi Arabia. There you go.
What about Greenland? Nobody
These
cares
are
about these
real.
people right now.
These are rough.
Like, really,
ones.
honestly.
This is all Minnesota, every one of them. This is one state out of many. And these people.
Open borders rule, long live the Schengen land. Yeah,
let's
that's
see.
open borders within Schengen,
Yeah,
though. You
these are
can't come
all
from
so
outside
far
that zone, right?
People that came from outside of the country, they were allowed in by Sleepy Joe Biden, Crooked Joe Biden, whichever you like. You can call him whatever
we're
you
here
like.
for
They're both
Greenland,
right. He's
guy.
sleepy
Talk
and he's
about
crooked.
Greenland.
He was the worst president we've ever had. And we've had some bad ones, too.
He has to state
can
what a
tell
good
you what you
man
have
he
to
is
do is
first.
look at trade.
Yeah, yeah, he has to talk himself up first. You're right.
You're not
right.
getting bored with this, right? I hope you don't. But these are people that you have to see.
I will say the border situation, guys, it was misrepresented.
rape,
There's more to it.
aggravated assault with a
I
weapon,
promise there's more to the border.
many other
There's more to that.
crimes.
There is, but we're not talking. We're here for Greenland. Trump is God to some people, evidently,
Gang
right?
member,
He's a
known as
good
one of the
comedian.
toughest people around.
President, however, ... He could be a good stand-up
These are
comic,
tough
couldn't he?
people.
That's true.
So this is what the people are trying to protect, because all ICE wants to do is get them out of our country, bring them to prisons and jails and mental institutions from where they came. That's all they want to do. They're patriots, and they have to be abused by guys like Don Lemon, who's a loser, lightweight. I saw him the way he walked in that church. It was terrible. I have such respect for that pastor. He was so calm. He was so nice. He was just accosted. What they did in that church was horrible yesterday. Look at this. 24 convictions. 24 times convicted. They're not charges. These are convictions. So he comes from outside the country. Do you think he's going to be good here?
He does have a point with the Don
Convicted
Lemon
24
thing.
times, he's going to be good here.
You guys
right?
are unfamiliar.
It doesn't work that way.
They went into a church and disrupted
One
a
of
church
many.
service to
One of
protest.
many. All they want to do is get him out.
Saw throat. Thanks for the 22 euros. He talks about respect, but
And
he
we're
is
met with
appealing
paid
to fear.
agitators and insurrectionists, troublemakers. They're
Yeah.
paid.
Fear
You know,
mongering.
when the woman was shot, I felt terribly
acting
about
like
that.
there's the big issue with security. You're right.
And I understand
appreciate the
both
super
sides.
chat. Thank you.
When she was shot, there was another woman that was screaming shame, 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 right? You saw it. So loud. She was like a professional opera singer. She was so loud.
Who was the pastor in the church? I'm not sure
so
who the pastor
professional.
was.
She wasn't a woman that was hurt, like, oh, my heart's injured. She was a professional. She's shame, shame. She's screaming shame, shame. I said, that's not a normal person. That's a professional. These are professional agitators
slurs,
and
yeah.
professional people that want to see our country do badly. But that's not happening because we have the hottest country anywhere in the world, despite this stuff. Look at this.
Doesn't know who the pastor is himself. Yeah, he probably don't. You're probably right.
All
But I don't
top
either. I mean, you know.
Criminals.
But
They're
I'm not the
gonna be
president.
good. They're not going to be well behaved here.
David Easterwood's the pastor. He works for
I
ICE.
could do thousands.
See,
We
that's the
had
thing. Whether
over
he works for ICE or
3,000 in
not,
the last very
don't go in the
short while.
church
Just in
disrupting their
Minnesota.
service.
What's the number?
That's wrong. I'm sorry.
10,000.
Don't care how you feel about ICE. That's wrong.
10,000
Stand outside
and
and
these are
protest.
serious
Don't go inside and
criminals. Now,
disrupt their
how can a
service.
place with
That's just
10,000
wrong.
criminals, how can you have a state? And yet they're fighting us. Yeah, I like that guy. He keeps nodding to me. You agree with me, I guess. I like him. I don't know who he is, but I like him. He keeps nodding. He says, you're right. He's obviously
You're not talking about the pastor that he is. Yeah, right.
Look. These
Okay
are
to
rough
bust into
ones.
people's businesses and houses. No, it's not okay to bust in. No, it's not.
So this, we just took this off a stack. We have many stacks like this. Like,
If they're an illegal migrant
go
criminal
30
that done
times
like bad stuff,
showing you now.
then maybe ICE needs to get them. I'm just, am I crazy for that? Like, for not wanting bad people? Like, some people are just bad people.
relations with
Some people
Hezbollah,
are,
That's nice.
and then some people want
Why
to
do we allow them in our
defend.
country?
Or be anti-ICE just based on because this and that and because of Trump or whatever. And I don't agree with what Trump's doing either. He needs to leave Greenland alone. He needs to step down and stop being a president. Really, he is in no position to be in power.
Many
The
murders.
guy's
many,
mentally
many
unfit
murders.
to be
People that
in
murder.
charge. We know this. But sometimes you got to get rid of these people that are doing bad things. That's just a fact. There's people just blatantly anti-ICE just to be anti-ICE, not knowing what's actually going on in the situation at hand. That's it.
And that group is incredible.
You're not crazy, but there has to be a trial. These people are thrown in jail and what? No, without proof. Yeah, but if they broke into the country,
and they're unbelievable people.
that's like saying that if somebody breaks in my house, I can't kick them out.
They are unbelievable.
If they break into my house and they do stuff that I don't want them to be doing in my house, I will kick them out of my house.
Numbers like I got from the standpoint.
I don't need to sit them on the couch and have a trial first. You're not supposed to be here.
If you look at Texas, I won the entire border.
Many of them are citizens. I've not seen citizens being arrested by ICE.
Nobody's ever done that before I did it.
The citizens that's trying to impede justice and get in their way, they do get arrested, but they're not being gone after. And people do twist it. They do. That's a fact.
And they're Hispanic.
What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong, and that's where that's where I'm at. I look at everything situationally, guys.
I don't know how they can take the abuse.
Dollars crashing.
They're taking rough.
Also, U.S. Stock Exchange. Yeah, it is.
People like this, like all of them. We have 10,000 at least. I could have done 10,000 of them. You're lucky I only did like 100.
Well, you need to get to Greenland.
This isn't even the worst of the group. They have murderers. They have some people we can't use their picture for legal reasons, but they're up for murder in their own country. And we jeopardize their case. When we send them back, and we coordinate with other
citizens should not interfere with police business. Exactly. That's basically exactly it. The citizens that get arrested are the ones that's interfering with police business, really. They're trying to take justice in their own hands.
It's a rigged election. Everybody knows.
And then they twist it and say ICE is coming after citizens. I've not seen this. I mean, I've seen that, but I haven't seen ICE just going after citizens.
So I just want you to know that it's a terrible thing. Here's the book on accomplishments.
Oh, military time, White House. Yeah.
And this is something. Ooh, I'm glad my finger wasn't in that sucker. That could have done some damage, but you know what? I wouldn't have shown the pain. I would have gone back. Boy, did you hear that? That was nasty.
Are we talking about Greenland yet?
But I would not have shown the pain. I would have acted like nothing happened as my finger fell off. That was a nasty. I think somebody did that.
7 people died in ICE custody since the start of the year. Are they doing executions? And I can't speak on that. I don't know.
I know. Don't know. So, but here is here's the book. These are all things we have. I'm going to read a few of the samples, but look at this. These are all. Each line is something that we did. Nobody did that before, and it's big stuff too. Look, we have the hottest country in the world. So, I will read you a few. We ended Biden's stagflation. We were in stagflation. That's a disaster. That's far worse than inflation. As you know, he had the biggest inflation in the history of our country. They say 48 years. Pick your choice. But they had the biggest inflation in the history of our country. We have it right down to a normal number now. We're going to get it even a little bit lower. Created super high. What we've done with growth is incredible. We created super high economic growth, and America is booming. It's booming. There are thousands of businesses right now that are being built. Many of the biggest factories in the world are being built right in our country. They're not going to other countries. They're leaving other countries. Fourth quarter GDP is on track to pass perhaps much more than 5% growth, and that's despite the fact that we had a Democrat shutdown.
Not Greenland yet, huh?
And we had 5%. Nobody's in this room has ever heard about 5%. I think it
should
be 20% if we do it right.
Charlie, ICE not arresting good people, question mark, check stuff again.
In the old days, if you
I've not seen anything where ICE is just going after American citizens for no reason at all. I swear to God, I've not seen this. The only American citizens I've seen ICE arrest are the ones that's trying to impede justice, and they're trying to get in the way. Like literally, there's a video where this ICE officer is talking about how he's going after this child predator, and there's people trying to stop that and say, fuck ICE. Some of these people are defending child predators.
The numbers that we inherited
I can't be crazy here.
Almost all of them way down.
You know.
Them way down. I mean, I'm not getting.
Midas is live.
Maybe
is he covering this?
Bad public relations people, but we're not getting it across. We inherited high numbers and we brought them way down. And look at gasoline. They have places in the country now, $1.99 a gallon. $1.99, $2.30, $2.50. I guess the average now they're saying is $2.31. I mean, he was at $4.50 and $5 for periods of time. And he went back to the Trump formula, but he didn't do it properly, and he really went back to parts of it because you would have had $8 gasoline if they didn't. But he didn't do it properly. He had people that didn't know.
I didn't see anything live on
Core
Midas.
inflation for the last 3 months is 1.6%.
Yeah, I don't know.
1.6. Their core inflation was so high that nobody could even calculate it. Under Biden, real income
If you've not seen it, then you're
declined
consuming everything he's giving you. I don't watch my
$3,000.
videos from
Think of
Trump.
that,
Trump doesn't send me
$3,000 a
videos,
year.
guys. I watch videos from all sorts of
12 months,
places.
Trump real
I don't
incomes
only
went up
watch stuff that's
by
pushing a certain narrative.
$2,000 and $3,000 and even in some cases $5,000. It's a tremendous difference. Stock market has set
I wonder if he's
52
getting to
all-time
Greenland
record
yet.
highs during the course of the 11 months, because this was done on 11 months. Now we are actually officially 12 months as of today. 52 all-time record highs. That means 401ks did great. I have people see me all the time, policemen that guard us really well, and got to know them a little bit. And they said, "Sir, you're making me look so good. My 401k is through the roof. My wife thinks I'm the greatest genius, that I'm a financial genius, like Warren Buffett." He told me that. He said, I think they have better returns than Warren Buffett right now. But he said, all my life, my wife has been criticizing me for not being smart financially. Now, all of a sudden, she loves me more. But we added $9 trillion in value to retirement accounts, saving.
You see it every day in news here in
Saving
Europe. Yeah, you
many
can't go
people,
by
but they were
mainstream
going
news
out of
though. That's the
business.
thing is
Think
things
of it.
there's
We
there's
added
agendas
$9
being pushed, guys. I
trillion
promise.
of
Like
value to retirement accounts, savings accounts, and 401ks.
maybe U.S. news is heavily censored.
That's
No, it's
during the
not.
course of 12 months.
It's agenda
And
pushing.
think
I
it's
don't watch
probably 11
mainstream
months
news. I watch real stuff
I don't
from
think
real
they have it for the
people.
12, they have it for the 11.
I watch
Added
people that's like literally
$9
like live on the
trillion
ground during
of
these
value.
protests while it's happening a lot of times.
Lifted more than 1.2 million
I feel like a lot of
Americans off food
people
stamps in
are
1 year.
falling
They would
for
have
the
had another 1.2 million.
the propaganda.
We would have had, welfare would have gone up, and instead of investing $18 trillion in our country, now it's probably more than that, but $18 trillion and having thousands of plants being built all over the country, you would have had thousands of plants closing all over the country, and you would have had disinvestment, and you would have had welfare going way up. You know, if you look at Snap,
We literally
take
see
a
live
look at
feeds
Snap, what happened with that?
from people
Was it
recording on
$7
phones. I know,
billion?
yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying.
It came out to over $51 billion.
Probably you don't have to
Nobody's ever
defend
seen
your
anything
opinion,
like
dude.
it.
Yeah, I know. I just
past
hate arguing with.
administration,
It's just it's like
They had
I don't
no
know.
clue. Or
I
they
know
were
I don't have to
really
defend
bad, but
nothing.
They basically had no clue. But they did have a concept. I mean, they're still trying to sell the idea of men playing in women's sports. You saw that in the Supreme Court. I mean, some of those justices
Mr.
were
Propaganda.
fighting for them, too. They were fighting for them. But you saw that just the other day in the Supreme Court. Men playing in women's sports doesn't work.
When is he going to get to
Secured a
Greenland, guys?
record-breaking $18 trillion in commitments for new investments. Apple, NVIDIA, SoftBank, Oracle, TSMC, Johnson & Johnson, Eli Lilly and Company, Micron, AstraZeneca, General Motors, Hyundai, Ford, Honda, GE Aerospace, many, many others. I left a Ford plant a week ago in Michigan that they were going to close 2 years ago, and now they just announced that they're going 24 hours around the clock making cars. Terrorists did it. I don't know what the Supreme Court's going to do. I think to me it reads so plainly. Couldn't be plainer. You're allowed to do a license. Tariff is probably less severe than what a license could be. But think of it. You're allowed to do a license, and
Independents
then
like
they have
Tommy
a
for
clause at
Trump
the
and
end,
Mercado
something to the
Media push
effect,
either
or what
side's
is
views, so who
necessary,
tells the truth?
something to that effect.
Well, you can't
What
say
is
they're
necessary
independent
was
if the
tariffs. I
name
don't
is
know
Tommy for Trump.
Where there's a case even there, but
Are you retarded?
we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars.
Clearly, that's not independent. That's not an.
If we
You
lose
can't
that
cite that
case,
and say
it's
that that's an
possible
independent
we'd
news
have
source.
to
It's not.
do the best
Sorry.
we can in paying it back. I don't know how that's going to be done very easily without hurting a lot of people. But we're waiting for that case anxiously, and we have tremendous national security because
I saw people even break into ICE car and took federal weapons and arrest warrants that media says they didn't have.
Inflation. So everyone said, oh,
Yeah, that's the thing is American citizens will be breaking into ICE vehicles, smashing the windows out, and stealing the ICE agents' weapons.
Problem. We have a
And then when these people get arrested, then everybody wants to scream, oh, well, ICE is being Gestapo. ICE is arresting American citizens and oh, this and that, and going after peaceful citizens that done nothing wrong. The motherfuckers are inciting violence. They're smashing fucking police vehicles. They're stealing weapons from the cops, guys, and they're protecting pedophiles. All because they want to say fuck ICE.
To me, I think.
Well, you know, fuck cops, fuck the government, fuck everybody else too. But you know what? Sometimes you need them, right? Fuck the cops, right? But if somebody breaks into my house, guess what? I would love to be able to call the cops and have them come get the bad guys out of my house. Sometimes you need these people around, right?
More than ever before for any
Sometimes they're bad. Sometimes they're good. I don't know. They're not always bad and they're not always good. It's not always a black and white situation.
The entire world, big place in the world. We were paying 10, 12, 13 times more than other countries.
Okay, well, I guess unsubscribe. Sure.
13 times
I don't care if you unsubscribe because you don't like my opinion.
For $10 would sell in New York for $130.
Somebody else will subscribe that does like my opinion. So, I mean, it is what it is.
But we secured most favored.
You're not going to bully me into just agreeing with you just because you say, oh, well, I'm going to unsubscribe or, oh, you're taught this and that. No, my opinion's my opinion. Nobody's going to change it. I look at both sides. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle.
Gilead Sciences,
like it, leave.
EMD,
don't like it, stay. Don't like it, leave. I don't fucking care.
If you look at some of the prices that are coming down.
I just want him to stop rambling and start talking about fucking Greenland already, to be honest with you.
Dollars coming down to $87. Think of it. So something that was costing $1,300 is now costing $87. And the fake news doesn't want to write about it. That's why I do this. I don't like to do this, to be honest with you. But I do it because...
Why does ICE need masks? I don't know, but what about all these crazy anti-ICE protesters all masked up?
Big beautiful bill delivering
Why do
the
they need
largest tax
masks?
cuts in history. No tax on tips, no tax on
I'm just
Social
saying.
Security, no tax on overtime. We made interest on car loans tax deductible for U.S.-built automobiles only. So if you buy an automobile built in the United States, we're not doing it for Germany and Canada and different places. We're doing it only if it's built here. We want them to be built here. A lot of the Canadian auto plants are closing and they're moving into the United States. Same thing with Mexico. Same thing with Germany.
Are they bullying them into moving to the United States?
Other countries. They're moving into the United States because of tariffs. Because they don't want to pay the tariffs. It's too much. They can't pay the tariffs. So they're coming here. Nothing different than what other smart countries did. But it works better for us. Under my leadership, it's not done properly, but it's done properly. We have, again, more plants being built than at any time in the history of our country. Passed the largest spending cuts in American history, and that was true in my first. You know, we had a tremendous first term also. We rebuilt our military.
Yeah, it says we need ICE in the Netherlands too. Too many immigrants.
In the history of our country.
Make sure nobody in real life hears you say that, because this day and age, they're going to jump you in the street for having that opinion.
Probably ever again.
Evidently.
We slashed the federal budget deficit by 27%.
I know if I went to the Netherlands in April and I overstayed my 90 days, which I'm not, I'm doing 2 weeks, but if I didn't come back and I was an illegal migrant, your government has the right to kick me out. I'm not going to be mad at them. I'm the bad guy in that situation for not leaving.
The payroll.
It makes sense for them to make me leave.
People that are murderers. Again, when you see people in Minnesota that are murderers, these people are fighting to keep them there. And I say to Christie and to Tom Homan, the great people that work in
56,000 individuals in custody in ICE.
Look at the border. The
detainees with no criminal
record.
record, 16,000.
I had no legislation. I said,
yeah, maybe they didn't have a prior criminal record, but maybe when they decided to jump in front of an ICE officer's car and impede justice,
nobody came into our country.
That gave them the record. That gave them the reason to bring them in, I think.
Because you'd think somebody, because it used to be millions of people just poured into our country. And the people that do that are Democrat sort of aligned So, I mean, they're not doing me any favors. We had nobody come in. We have a very strong border. We have very few people coming up. They're not going to make the trek because they know they probably won't be coming in. So it's not as hard as you think. But I didn't have to go back. Remember, they said, we need legislation to close the border. They had millions of people coming in a month. We have nobody coming in. And
Is he going to say anything about Greenland, guys? What do you think?
People from prisons and jails. Many countries opened up their prisons and dropped them into the United States. Those are the people who are getting out. And we have a lot of heart. And I said, you got to lighten up on this. We have a lot of heart for people.
Charlie wants to pay the tariffs. Yes, America will win a lot of money, but Charlie doesn't want to pay them.
They're working now on
no, I don't want
farms
to pay no
and they're
tariffs. What are you talking about?
Luncheonettes and hotels and all. And we're not looking. We're looking to get the criminals out right now. The criminals. And I think it's very important. I mean, every once in a while you see a story, we take somebody. He should be out because they came in illegally. So in theory, they should be. But we're focused on the murderers, the drug dealers, the mentally insane. We have a lot of mentally insane killers. I mean, you can't even talk to them. It'd be nice if you could have a little reason, but you can't even reason. These are serious.
Right. Yeah, you would not be put in prison for months in the Netherlands. If you overstay your 90 days, you'd be put in a plane back.
They were loaded
yeah,
up.
exactly.
Mental
and that's fair.
institutions and insane asylums were loaded to
That's
the
what they're
gills.
doing. They swoop them up and they send them back. And then people get upset about it. I don't
We're bringing
understand.
them all back. We know where they came from. And every country accepts them. You know, under Biden, they wouldn't say, they had so little respect that they'd bring them there and they wouldn't take them. They say, get the hell out of here. They would be bringing a plane in to land in a country, and they'd put 5 planes on the runway so you couldn't land the plane.
We just act normal,
So
even though
they'd
we don't
come
always
back
agree with each other.
with the people
right?
that they were bringing
Don't
back.
normal,
They
right,
don't do
guys?
that
Don't
with me.
normal.
They do that with me. They have problems.
You support
They
SS? No, I
accept
don't,
them
dude.
back.
You want to
They're
tell me
not
I
happy
support
about it,
SS? You can fucking leave my channel.
Cut a
Sorry.
record number of
I'm not a
regulations.
Nazi. I don't support
promised to
Nazis. If you
eliminate
want to
10
make
old
those claims, you can
regulations.
leave.
For every
It is
one
what it
new
is. It's my
regulation.
channel.
Instead, we
I'm
cut
gonna have it.
129 old regulations.
Sorry.
Each one added. Think of that. I wanted to do 10. In my first 4 years, I did. When we put on a new regulation, you had to cut 8. This year, I said you have to cut 10. Instead, we cut 129. So every time, so far, can't remain like that. I don't imagine. I hope I can, because we have so much wasted regulation, stupid regulations, regulations where they go by California, which is a disaster state, with a governor that truly is doing a bad job. He's killing that state.
I don't know what he's still mumbling
If he
about.
ever
He's
ran
not
the
talking
country,
about
this country
Greenland.
would be
I know that.
Venezuela very quickly.
You're awesome,
Using
man.
tariffs
Thank
slashed
you.
the U.S. trade deficit by an incredible 77%. The trade deficit is down, and that doesn't include the last month where we had our best month. We slashed the trade deficit by an incredible 77% in 1 year with no inflation.
I take a cigarette
Something
now.
that everyone said could not
Hey,
be
smoking's
done.
bad
So we
for
had
you.
Essentially no
Bad for you.
inflation. In fact, the last month we had almost no inflation. But we slashed
No
the
inflation?
trade deficit by 77%. If
He didn't buy his
slash it by
groceries where I bought
1%,
them
that
at.
was good.
Not
Again,
saying
we
he don't
did that
lie,
with
because that's a lie,
tariffs
guys. He lies about a lot of
intelligence.
stuff.
We did that with November 5th. Great election. We secured historic trade deals to reduce barriers on U.S. exports with countries covering 40% of all U.S. trade. Think of that. American exports are up by more than $150 billion this year. People said, oh, we're not exporting. All we do is buy. If you keep buying, you're not going to have a country for very long. So we
Damn, I have no
increased
popcorn but a beer.
by more than $150 billion. Investment in American factories is up 41%. That's a
Well,
record.
you forced people to
Nobody goes
invest, though.
41%
You
up.
forced
You go
people to
2%
invest by
up,
bullying
1%
them, so of
up.
course
You
it
go
is. Why? Where are we at? What happened? Hold on. Where's... Oh, wait, that's the same website. Crap. What happened? Somebody shut him down, guys. Watch live. Is this...
do is say, like, what the Democrats do for every job. They hire 1 million people. Now, if you hire another million, I'll hire 1 million people. We cut
Okay, it's back.
Millions of people off the federal payroll. I don't like doing that, but the good news, I don't feel
Okay.
badly because they're getting private sector jobs.
They fell
And they're
asleep.
getting sometimes twice as much money, 3 times as much money. They're getting factory jobs.
BBC
They're
had enough
getting
of his
much better
rambling.
jobs
Maybe.
and much
Maybe a
higher
disgruntled employee was like, fuck this guy.
But
We're cutting his
all I have to
feed.
do is say, like, what the Democrats do all the time. They hire 1 million people, and then they hire another million. They load it up, and it says, oh, they only have a 3% unemployment rate. It's a fake rate. So with us, we're proud of the fact that we cut so many because, again, I don't want to cut people. But when you cut them and they go out and get a better job, I like to cut them. And sometimes they have to be forced to do that because, it's like they want to stay where they are. They don't know. And then all of a sudden they end up, we have many cases, Caroline, where people were devastated. They hated Trump. I got caught from my very boring federal job where they had, again, sometimes 10 people to do one job. And they were very upset. And now they ended up with a job where they get paid 3 times more money. They're ending up buying houses. It's like crazy. So they went from not liking me to liking me a lot because it's hard to get. We need people. We need people. It's one of the reasons. I mean,
I really don't know what that even means. You must be from Europe, I think.
People in hotels and everything else.
What means?
Work with them as much as we can. Under Biden, 1 out of 4 jobs added was a government job.
Oh, do normal.
Think of that.
Is that it's Dutch. I got a lot of Dutch audience. Do normal just means like it's in Dutch. It just means like just act normal.
I could add 2 million jobs right now. Would have
people's already crazy enough. Just kind of like act yourself. Don't act like just don't be like too much over the top or something kind of thing.
Because that's the way you make America great again. When you have, all these jobs where people are sitting.
Oh,
around
sorry,
doing
that message
nothing
was
and
not
they get a lot
about
of
you.
money
Oh, it's all good.
by the government. It's no good.
All good.
But that's what the Democrats do. They show,
Feel safe. I live in a little town.
Unemployment. That's
I feel safe here too. I live in a small area, not a town, but
jobs, or they wouldn't cut. They would never cut jobs. Under Trump, 100% of all new jobs created have been in the private sector. Think of that. Not 1% has gone to federal. So under Biden, 1 out of 4 was a government job. Under Trump, 100% of the new jobs.
there's a war, there'll be no elections.
100%.
What is that? Is that true?
Came from the private sector. That's how you make your country
Is that what's
wealthy
happening?
and strong and good.
He's trying to start a war to get rid of the elections. Does that make him stay in like a third term thing? What
have plummeted to
is
the
that real?
lowest level ever recorded, down 99.999%.
Did you read my message yesterday?
100%.
Being considered in Maine.
99.999.
I did. I haven't had a chance to talk to Amy about it to be able to respond to you yet.
In a row, 0, and these are government numbers. These are not
No midterms.
For 8 months in a row, 0 illegal aliens were admitted to our country. 0.
Is that his plan? You think that's his plan, guys? Get rid of the
We have a big
midterms?
process for having people come in legally, by the way. A lot of people.
That's what's going on, isn't it?
They have to prove they love our country. They have to prove that they're not.
This
gonna
orange
need
bastard wants
welfare.
to stay in
A
power.
lot
He
of
wants to be
things
like
they have to
Putin. He wants to just keep on keeping on.
For the
huh?
first time in 50
He's
years,
jealous of
we're now
Putin.
seeing reverse migration, where we're getting because
That
we're
would be
getting all of
devilish.
these illegal people out. People that
I mean, he
came
is
in
orange.
illegally. In many cases, they're criminals. In many, many cases. Remember when they used to say that the people that come into our country as immigrants are very nice people. They're wonderful people. They don't commit crime. No, they make our criminals look like
All
they
chaos now. I don't understand why they don't remove him.
They make our
Yeah.
Hell's Angels look like the sweetest people on earth. The
Yo,
Hell's
Charlie,
Angels
please read
are
my
now
last
considered
question.
A nice, high-quality person.
If I can find
Like
it.
the Hell's Angels, they voted for me. They protected me, actually, believe it or not.
Oh
But they
yeah,
make our
yeah. The offer about from Sitter Nemahan Zutphen. Yeah, I just haven't had a chance to talk to Amy about it yet. She's busy. She's gone all day working actually, and
Prisons, I know the
I'll get
Congo
back with you
because
at
I ended the war
some
with
point.
The Congo and Rwanda, tough group, very tough group. They came from prisons in the Congo. Some of the toughest, meanest people you'll ever meet. Thank you very much. They allowed him to come into America. These are tough people. Before my election, 100%
Why does it keep getting
of net
quiet?
job creation was going to foreign migrants. Since my inauguration, 100% of the net jobs created.
Losing midterms smells like impeachment or 25th Amendment.
Citizens. That's a big thing. In other words, we're now taking care of our people.
100% of net jobs created have gone to the American-born people. Before that, we didn't care. Designated Tren de Aragua, MS-13, and the Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and we've hit them hard. You've seen what we've done on the water.
All right, if you want to mail me or something, it's like spam mail.
The land is much easier.
I can give you the good mail here. You can email me. I'll drop a link in the.
You do it on the land, they don't go to the water.
I'll put a link in the chat if you wanted to email me. Novio.
To the boat
Magusa.
business right now, I can tell you. 97% down drugs coming in by water. Think of it, 97%. Nobody ever heard of that before. They heard 2%, 1%. It went up 2%. 97, and we're looking for the 3%. Who the hell are the 3%? They're crazy. But we've
Saw some Dutch soldiers went to Greenland. Yes, we like many other European countries. Are Greenland?
The drugs coming in by
Yeah.
water. Now we're going to be
I heard
very
that
shortly
too.
starting drugs coming in by
We need a
land.
max age for people in office.
Exactly where they're coming from.
I agree.
Remove tens of thousands
Say
of
no to
illegal alien
demented
gang members, drug dealers, murderers,
dementors.
child
There we
predators,
go.
human traffickers, fraudsters, savage criminals, and others. We removed them from our country. They're out. They're gone. In some cases, they're so dangerous that we put them in jail because we don't want to give
Pick
them
'em a
to their
solid.
country. Their
Sounds
country
good.
doesn't do anything, and they end up coming back. We have some that we're just they're so bad that we don't want to really.
The volume goes
release
up
them.
and
We
down
wanna
on
put 'em
this.
in a jail where we know they're properly
Trying to adjust it for you, but
ensconced. Think of that. Remove tens of thousands of illegal alien gang members, drug dealers, murderers, child predators, human traffickers, fraudsters, and savage criminals. Why wouldn't you want them removed? The reason is because these are insurrectionists that are doing this work. And, you know, they're going to make
Food talk
mistakes
sounds good.
sometimes. ICE is going to be too rough with somebody, or, you know, they're dealing with rough people. They're going to make a mistake. Sometimes it can happen. We feel terribly.
I got the volume cranked up
I felt
down here.
horribly when I was told that the young woman who was had the tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's a horrible thing. Everybody would say, ICE would say the same thing. But when I learned her parents and her father in particular I hope he still is, but I don't know, was a tremendous Trump fan. He was all for Trump, loved Trump. And, you know, it's terrible. I was told that by a lot of people. They said, oh, he loves you. He was I hope he still feels that way. I don't know. It's a hard situation. But her
Over
father
65
was a tremendous, and parents
would be the limit.
were tremendous.
That seems fair.
Trump fans.
Fair.
So sad. It just happens. It's terrible. Halted all refugee admissions to the United States, including from Somalia, which is a terrible, terrible place, another dangerous place. And we also stopped the pirates because they get the same treatment as the drug boats. So in Somalia, the Somalians, you know what they're good at? That's about the only thing they're good at is they're good at
The only thing they're good at is being a
pirating
pirate.
ships at sea, big ships. So you have a huge oil tanker with millions of gallons, millions of barrels of oil. And if it gets hit by a big weapon, the whole thing blows up. And they don't want to fight because if they do, they're told by their insurance companies, do not hand over the ship. And they're not allowed to have any guns. on
Send
the
more
ship.
Germans. They know a
They're
thing,
literally-
a thing or two about
massive
war.
Ships being taken over by a Somalian small boat.
Funny
It's a
joke,
big
Mar.
weapon. Because if they hit the side of the ship,
was
the
great.
ship can blow up.
Love you Germans in the
about a
chat, by the
blow-up.
way.
Bad. We've seen some.
No
bad
hate.
things happen. And the insurance companies, some of these ships cost more than $1 billion to build, and the insurance companies say, "Look, we'd rather give them money than take a chance on $1 billion insurance policy." But they don't have to worry about it because we hit them the same way we hit the people with the drugs in their boat. They don't know what the hell happened, but all of a sudden, there are no pirates at sea. Do you notice? We haven't had a boat taken in a little while. Came out of Somalia, really corrupt place. It's not a country. They don't have government. They don't have anything. I always hate to see this. Ilan Omar, she comes from Somalia.
The chat's great. You guys are
A
awesome.
backward
country, probably the worst country. They say it's the worst country in the world, if it's a country. I don't even think it's a country. There's no
I thought North Korea was. Or
They don't have
Eritrea.
police. They don't have military.
Eritrea
They
is
don't
pretty
have anything.
shit.
They just have people running around, killing each other, and trying to pirate ships. But
what about the United States? Look at the ghetto. Look at all the gangbangers out there on the street, like shooting each other up with heroin and shooting each other in the streets.
I can't stand her.
You know.
Terminated all taxpayer-funded benefits for illegal aliens and kicked 275,000 illegals off of Social Security. They were illegally getting.
Did you just throw Elon's name in there for nothing when he was talking?
275,000 people.
I think so. I think
I'm
so
telling
for
you,
no
it's
reason.
not
Yeah.
that this is pleasurable, but if I weren't elected president, this country was going to be destroyed quickly, very quickly. I think within a year, if you had Kamala or a Joe type. I mean, Joe was a disaster, but if you had Kamala, he was the replacement. I was up by like 25 points on Joe, and they said, "Hey, let's get somebody else." This never happened. Well, I had so many firsts. You're leading somebody by a lot, and they say, "Oh, let's take him out. Let's put somebody." That's like I said to Dana White the other night. I said, "You know, Dana, it's like you have a fighter, two fighters. One guy is winning by a lot." And
All
they
drugs
say,
here
"Oh, let's take
decriminalized.
this guy
As
out.
a
Let's
result,
put
we
new
don't have
fighter in
a
the
drug
ring
or
with him."
drug gang
That's
problems.
what happened to me.
They tried that here. They tried
doing great with
decriminalizing that shit in
Biden.
Washington and Oregon, and it made it
whole
worse,
campaign was
guys.
against Biden. All the
Somehow it
money
made
was
it
spent
worse
against Biden, and
over
all of a
there.
sudden I got Kamala. Everyone said, "Who the hell is she?" But that didn't work out too well for them. But never happened before. We are about lots of firsts. Designated
Talking to himself.
English as the official language of the United States of America. We did that very powerfully. And while we're at it, we also took the Gulf of Mexico, and now it's the Gulf of America.
Yeah,
We have
yeah, it is.
92% of the shoreline. It always bothered me. I'd say, we have most of the shoreline. Mexico has a small percentage. Talks about 8%. We have 92%.
That was him trying to. That was
Why
the
is it
start
the
of him
Gulf
trying to take
Mexico?
over.
It should be the Gulf of America. I was going to call it the Gulf of Trump, but I thought that I would be killed if I did that. I wanted to do it. I wanted to. My people work so hard. Sir, I don't think it'll look too good. I'm telling you, it's a good thing. And it'll be hotter than ever, I said. No, but I decided not to do that.
He's trying hard not to fall
when I
asleep.
say that. I was not going to call it the Gulf of Trump.
It's old. It's past his bed. He's old. It's past his
Trump
bedtime,
wanted
right?
to call it the Gulf of Trump, but he was rebuffed by his people. My people don't rebuff me too much. The Gulf of Trump. That does have a good ring, though. Maybe we could do that. It's not too late. No, we have the Gulf of America now. It's great. It's our country is proud for the attack on Venezuela, the attack on the Iran nuclear capability, wiped it out. I mean, first administration, Soleimani, the father of the roadside bomb, al-Baghdadi, the father of ISIS, who was rebuilding ISIS. We wiped them out. Done a great job. Signed an order that will end birthright citizenship for children of illegal migrants. You know, that case is in court right now. That case was meant for the children of slaves. All you have to do is look at the years. Look at the years where the cases were filed and where the decisions were made. They were right at the end of the Civil War. They're trying to say that, in China's making a big business out of that. They come to the country, they have a child, the American citizen, they get all the benefits. It had nothing to do with that. That was for the children of slaves. And I hope the Supreme Court so rules. Designated fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. It is. We lost, I believe, 300,000 people this year. 300,000 people. That's like filling up one of those big football stadiums 5 times. It's not even believable. I mean, you could be in a war and you wouldn't lose that many people. So we designated fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. Conducted numerous successful military strikes against narco-terrorists operating in our hemisphere, including the water strikes. Drugs brought in by ocean. So I told you that we're down by, close to 100%. It's hard to get somebody to pilot those boats. Very hard. They have to be people that don't watch television, don't read the news. And we just blew up their facility. They had a docking facility where the drugs were stored. And now we have a great relationship with Venezuela. We're getting along fantastically with the leadership in Venezuela, so we wouldn't have to do that. This was done before the attack.
Maybe he'll get to Greenland soon. He mentioned Venezuela.
But we captured and brought to justice the outlaw dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, who, through drugs, killed millions of people in our country. Tremendous drug dealer. Also sent millions of people into our country, including Tren de Aragua, the worst gang. They say it's the worst gang in the world. They took over parts of Colorado. They just take the apartment building.
Boring.
Just took it away.
Yeah,
Just took
can
it away.
be.
Like,
Waiting for the good bits, though.
they cut the hand off one man because he called the police. Who called the police? I did. You took my apartment from me. Boom. No hand. This is what they sent us. Restoring law and order, new category. D.C. and Memphis, federal task forces deployed massive numbers of federal law enforcement officers and National Guard to restore safety. Crime down in D.C. is almost down to nothing. D.C. was a very, very dangerous place, and I think you probably know better than I do. I have a lot of people in the media thanked me for that, but some of them found it hard to thank me. But, you know, D.C. is now, look how beautiful. D.C. is now, you can walk right from here to a restaurant, right through the center of town. You can be with your child, with your loved one, with your lover. Your lover's not going to be killed anymore, so you can act like a real lover.
Do we need a fact checker?
But you can walk right through the middle of the town, and D.C. is beautiful again too. You notice we took all the fences down, almost all. The rest are coming down.
He's trying to talk himself up, guys.
Got the graffiti all off.
He wants to make
National
himself feel
Guard's been
proud.
amazing. You know, we didn't tell them to do that. That's not their job description. But they were picking up garbage and everything. They were great. And I don't know. To me, a town, it looks better when you have military people. These are big, strong guys, are bad guys. Look at them and they say, we're not going to mess around. But what they don't know is that we took over 2,000 people permanently out of D.C. These were career criminals. But
Fentanyl does kill people. Yeah, it does.
Seeing those people there. I went in a couple of times and had dinner in D.C. I walked right down the middle of the street. I felt very safe. A year ago, I couldn't have done that. I would have been crazy to have done that. Secret Service wouldn't let me do it. They weren't thrilled anyway, I will tell you. It wasn't like they were thrilled, but we did it, and it was great. But D.C. is a great thing. We have virtually no crime in D.C. anymore. And before we did this move, it was we could do the same thing with Chicago. You know, we brought Chicago down 25%, even though we just had a minimal crew there. We brought
Yolanda, funny comment.
Wisconsin down. We brought Minnesota down, way down, even though everything's a fight, you know, because they want to keep those people that are lying on the floor. They want to keep those people in Minnesota, but they really don't. I don't think the real people of Minnesota, it's a very corrupt place, and the elections are totally corrupt. I feel I won it all 3 times. Nobody's won that state since Richard Nixon. It's a rigged state. And the Somalians vote as one group, even if they're not citizens, and they vote as one group. And, you know, you get 600,000 votes against you. They all ought to get the hell out of here. They're bad for our country. Nationwide achieved the largest reduction in violent crime on record. So this just came out. Nationwide, over the last 11 months, achieved the largest reduction in violent crime on record, including the largest one-year drop in murders ever recorded. Almost 2,000 lives were saved. That's despite the fact that we took in criminals under the leadership of the Democrats and Joe Biden. More motor vehicle theft is down by
Putin sure has something on Trump.
100,000 vehicles nationwide. That's
Could be.
another-
Could be.
Nationwide, the motor vehicle theft is
Maybe they're
was out of
boyfriends.
control.
Maybe they
Now
got a
it's
secret
very much in
relationship
control.
going. Maybe that's what it is.
Down by more than
I'll be right back.
100,000 vehicles to a record low. Began the process of eliminating cashless bail policies across the nation. You got to get rid of your sanctuary cities, and I hope our people know that we're not going to pay sanctuary cities. We're not going to pay them anymore. They are sanctuary for criminals. They hold criminals. We're not going to pay. They can sue us, and maybe they'll win. But we're not giving money to sanctuary cities anymore as of the beginning of the month. We began the process of eliminating the cashless bail. Well, cashless bail is where it all started. It's a disaster. And then other places. I don't know if it started in New York. I remember it starting in New York. So if somebody comes in, murders somebody, and they let them out, no bail, no nothing. Basically, cashless bail means you just get the hell out. And they go outside. We have one case where a guy murders somebody, gets released, and goes out and murders somebody. 2 people in one day. No, we got to get rid of cashless bail. They got to pay, got to have bail. There's a reason for bail, long tested. Signed an executive order to bring back mental institutions and insane asylums. We're going to have to bring them back. Hate to build those suckers, but you got to get the people off the streets. You know, we used to have, when I was growing up, we had in my area in Queens, I grew up in Queens, we had a place called Creedmoor. Creedmoor, did anybody know that? Creedmoor. It was a big, I said, Mom, why are those
Monty
bars
Python
in the
show?
building? I
Yeah.
used to play Little League Baseball there at a place called Cunningham Park.
The Trumpy Python
I was
show.
quite the baseball player, you wouldn't believe. But I said to my mother, Mom, she would be there, always there for me. She said, son, you could be a professional
Well, we got
baseball player.
53
I
votes.
said, thanks, Mom. I said, why are those
96% Trump's delusional.
big building, big,
It's a fact.
powerful building?
We got to the
It
bottom
loomed
of it,
over the
guys.
park, actually. It was pretty- She said, well, people that are very sick are in that building. I said, boy, I used to always look at that building and I'd see this big building, big tall building. It loomed over the park. It was sort of, now that I think it was a pretty unfriendly sight. But I'll never forget, I don't know if it's still there, because they got rid of most of them, you know, the Democrats in New York, they took them down, and the people live on the streets now. That's why you have a lot of the people in California and other places, they live in the streets. They took the mental institutions down. They're expensive. But I'd say, why does that building have those bars? Boy, it wasn't normal. You know, you're used to looking at like a window.
No, mine is not a real vote.
But this one, you look at it, all this steel.
4% of the MAGA that are
steel,
actually watching
tiny
this.
Windows, bars all over the place.
I would think probably
Nobody
2
was
votes
getting out.
then.
It's called
2
the mental
people out of the
institution. That
53
was an
then if it's
insane
4%.
asylum. Designated Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization, and many others. It is. America is respected again on the world stage. That's another topic. Obliterated Iran's nuclear enrichment capability, and Operation Midnight Hammer was one of the most successful anyone's ever seen. CNN fake news. I don't
Use
know
the
where
bowl
they
to
are.
impeach.
CNN, anybody from CNN here? Fake news. Nobody wants to raise their hand anymore. They used to argue. Yeah. Now, if you're with CNN, you don't raise your hand. But they said, well, maybe it wasn't that successful, which I really was angry because these pilots took their life in their hands. 2 o'clock in the morning with no moon, dead dark, guns shooting at them. They went in with those beautiful B-2s, and every single bomb went down an air shaft and obliterated it. And CNN came out and said,
Did you know
well,
that sanctuary
maybe it
cities like
wasn't
San
by the
Francisco are
by a scam
beyond the
writer,
president's
scam
reach and has no
writer
power
who,
over them?
You know, fake stories.
That's probably
a
why
lot
they're
of fake
causing so much
stories on
problems.
Other topics, right? Because when we did it, we said, that's a terrible thing. You know, the pilots came back and they said, we hit everything. They did a great job. Then on top of that, we launched from a submarine about 30 Tomahawks on top of everything else. The place was obliterated. CNN said, well, maybe it wasn't that bad. Turned out it was worse than it was. You know who could tell you that? The Iranians would tell you that. Because if they do anything, they're going to have to start a brand new place. But they did an amazing job. It was like.
What do you mean, what
we did
problems?
with
You don't watch the same videos that I watch
Nobody's
then.
ever seen a military operation like that. Ended 8 unendable
There's a lot of
wars in 10 months.
extremists
These were
out there.
Unendable wars.
Ignore it if you
Cambodia
want, but
and
it's
Thailand
true.
Fighting for years.
True.
Kosovo and Serbia. The Congo and Rwanda. Pakistan and India, they were really going at it. 8 planes shot down. They were going to go nuclear, in my opinion. The Prime Minister of Pakistan was here, and he said President Trump saved 10 million people and maybe much more than that. They're both nuclear countries. Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia were going to fight over a dam, and I got them to stop. I still got to work it out because they put a dam up in Ethiopia that stops the flow from a little river called the Nile. I always think of the Nile being in Egypt, you know, beautiful Nile with the pyramids, but
Chicago ended the 30 Years' War.
You know
What's
who
the
paid
30
for
Years'
the
War?
dam? The United States. It's the biggest dam, I think, in the world. They put a dam up. I said, how did you let that happen? Why would we have done that? We financed it. This country would, I don't know. Maybe it was.
Is Amy unstuck yet? No. No, she's stuck in town.
A Democrat, but
Her next
what a
shift
terrible
starts in
thing.
2 hours.
So
She's at
Egypt
the restaurant.
basically, they don't have enough water in the Nile.
And why are they
And
talking
use
about
that
Egypt?
for
Yeah, exactly. Why? What does this got to do with
a lot of
Greenland?
things, including entertainment and travel and tourism and everything. I mean, I don't know. They got a big dam. I got to work that one out now, too. Armenia and Azerbaijan, President Putin told me, I cannot believe you settled that war. I've been trying
30
to
Years'
settle
War,
that war for 10
1618 to
years.
1648. Yeah.
Armenia and Azerbaijan. They were fighting it for many, many years.
He ended the 80 Years' War between the
And I ended
Netherlands
up
and Spain,
getting
too. Remember, guys?
the
Remember
heads
when,
of the both
when Trump
countries in
saved you
my
guys from
office.
Spain over there in the Netherlands
Beautiful
back in the
office, much more
1600s?
beautiful now than it ever was. And one side of the other. He said, you know, I've been the head of Azerbaijan for 22 years, and for 22 years I've been killing his people. And the other gentleman, and both very good guys, said, I've been here for 7 years, and for 7 years I've been killing his people. And they started over there, and within an hour they were next to each other, and by the time we ended, they were hugging each other, and it's been a great peace, you know?
We saved ourselves. Thank you very much.
Nobel Prize
You sure
for
Trump
each
didn't
war,
stop
but
that
I don't
war?
say that.
Are
I
you
say
sure?
Millions and millions of people. And don't let anyone tell you that Norway doesn't control the shots, okay? It's in Norway.
Now he's talking shit about Norway,
controls
guys.
the shots. They'll say, we have nothing to do.
We got Norwegians in the chat?
It's a joke. They've lost such prestige. Got all. That's why I have such respect for Maria doing what she did. She said, I don't
also had
deserve the Nobel Prize."
great friendship with the
When
Roman
she got it,
emperors.
they named.
No, dude, he started Rome.
amazing. I thought
You got it
President Trump
wrong.
would get
Trump
it.
started Rome. He was the
President Trump
first
deserves it.
Roman
He
emperor.
ended
He's
up
the
8
Caesar.
wars. How nice, right? It's a good woman. Got all 20 living hostages returned to their families, and the remains, they all came out. We got the 20 living hostages. We got the 28 hostages. They have one left that we think we know.
Ended the
where it is.
bubonic
Amazing.
plague. Yep, yep.
Looked like we weren't going to get anywhere near that. Now they've gotten almost. And more importantly, we got many more. Hundreds. We got them all.
He is
We
doing
didn't-
your
we
game.
didn't do
Guess
it,
what country we hit on your YouTube channel?
most of those people would have been dead.
What do you mean?
I don't know if that's covered properly, but you know, the 20 is great. They were the last ones. I always said the last 20 are going to be hard, but we got them.
I discovered a Chinese guy on YouTube a few months ago who impersonates Trump perfectly. It's just hilarious.
bodies of
Oh,
the dead.
nice.
And to those parents, that was just
Have you seen
as
the
important as
Chinese
getting
Elon
their son
Musk?
back alive.
That's
They
great
were
too.
Almost even more intent on getting. They knew their son was dead. They wanted to get the body. I got him.
House of Orange. Oh yeah.
We just created the Board of Peace, which I think is going to be amazing. I wish the United Nations could do more. I wish we didn't need a Board of Peace, but the United Nations, and you know, with all the wars I settled, the United Nations never helped me on one war.
63% thinks he will mention Greenland
Called them to help,
at some
but I
point.
got, you know, the presidents and prime ministers together.
41
we knocked
votes.
Heads, we got along, and they liked me. I liked them. Every single one of them.
Game about pointing a
nominated
country
me
and talk
for a
about.
Nobel
Yeah, yeah,
Prize.
yeah.
Every one of the wars,
But what's
among
the-
many other people, nominated me for a Nobel Prize. But Putin told me, I cannot believe you got this war settled. I've worked on it for 10 years because it's his territory. Rescued 83 American hostages and citizens.
I'm out. This is too
detained
drilling.
from
Or
abroad
wait,
without
where'd that go?
paying.
See you later, Mark.
A lot
The
of money.
Netherlands.
Paid no money. Apprehended terrorists responsible for the Abbey Gate bombing that claimed the lives of 13 U.S. service members in Afghanistan, the lowest point in the history of our country. That was a Biden disaster.
Get
I was
confused and
getting
mention
out, but I was
Iceland.
getting out with dignity and strength.
Yeah.
We were the boss. Oh, we were the boss. They wouldn't do a thing against us. And this very stupid person got in, and what a shame. They should have left from Bagram, which is the big military base, which has hundreds of acres around it. Should have left from Bagram. terminated visas of Hamas sympathizers and deported pro-jihad foreign nationals, got NATO members to agree to raise defense spending to 5% of GDP from 2%, and they pay the 5% and they didn't pay the 2%. And by the way, I did more for NATO than any other person alive or dead. Nobody's done for NATO. And I think
How do you
for the
do
most
that?
part, they'll tell you that. I think
How do you do that?
ask the
What's he talking
Secretary
about?
General.
No, Charlie, don't be halfway Nazi. How am I
Said
halfway
it.
Nazi? What are you talking
I've
about?
done more for NATO than anybody, and I see all this stuff, but NATO has to treat us fairly, too.
I'm not half Nazi. What do you?
The
What
big
do you?
fear I have with
what?
NATO is we spend tremendous amounts of money with NATO, and I know we'll come to their rescue, but I just really do question whether or not they'll come to ours.
I'd love to know what he did for NATO. He never mentions what he actually did. Yeah, exactly. What did he do? I don't think
Just
he did
saying,
all this for NATO.
During the debate, just
Vincent the
saying.
Great, thanks for the 6-year
Signed
super
$1 trillion
chat. Thanks for the awesome
investment in US
stream.
military.
Well, thanks for the
And
awesome
next year,
super
we
chat.
hopefully will go to a 1.5 trillion. We're
It was
building
super. It was the
battleships
best
that are
super chat in the
100
world. The
times more
most
powerful
amazing
than
super chat.
The battleships of World War II, which
Sorry,
are the
bad
big,
Trump
beautiful,
joke.
those big, beautiful things with the guns. I said, what about bringing them out of dry dock? They said, sir,
Try to make
what we're
jokes.
building will
I just
blow
end up
them
being
away.
dumb.
Think of it. These ships are 100 times more powerful than the battleships that you see on Victory at Sea. Do you ever see Victory at Sea? What a great
Guys, I
thing
also
that
did a
is
lot
to
for NATO. I'm
watch.
not going to say what I did,
We
but I
named
did
the
it.
Department of Defense into the Department of War, which everyone loves, by the way. Signed landmark critical
love it.
minerals deals with Australia, Malaysia, Thailand, Ukraine, Japan, and many others. We're going to have so much rare earth. It's actually not that rare. Getting it processed is rare, but there's a lot of rare earth. There's a lot of earth around, I can tell you. Withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization, where we were paying hundreds of millions of dollars a year. So we were paying $500 million a year, and China was paying $37 million a year. I said, why aren't we paying the same as China? They said, well, nobody asked.
Calling it today, night, everyone.
They said China's got
Take it easy, Mandy.
1.4 billion people. We have 350
Thanks for the super chat earlier.
million,
Appreciate it.
probably, with
Have a good
all
night.
the illegals, you know. China probably knows more accurately, but we have much smaller in terms of the number of people. We have a much more powerful military, but we have much smaller. I rebuilt the military during my first term, by the way. And while they gave away a lot to Afghanistan,
He founded the
Taliban,
military, didn't he?
which was just horrible seeing them. Every year, seeing them do that military down some dirty street is a disgrace. But while Biden gave a lot of it away, it's a tiny fraction compared to what we did. I rebuilt the military, and now we're continuing to build it, and bigger and better.
German
We need it.
impressionist Max German translating Donald Trump
But
after
we
this.
withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization.
Maybe.
So I remember we were paying $500 million.
See
They
what
were
time it
paying
is.
37 or 39 million, and I said, "How come?" So I withdrew, and they called. We'll give you the same deal that they had. I said, "Well, it should be less than that, because if they're at 37, and you have 3 times, 4 times the number of people, even maybe 5 times, I don't know. So it should be less." But I didn't want to chisel around, and I thought about it. So I could have taken 500 million to 37, and everybody knew it. I chose not to do it because it was actually very popular when I got out, because they were terrible. And so I chose not to take that deal. First thing Biden did is go back into it. You know what he paid? More than 500 million. So I actually called them. I said, you know, you can buy it for less. You can make a deal at 37. There's no reason to pay 500. They didn't care. They paid more than 500. Did you know that? They paid more
You forget
than
about
500
Greenland or what?
million. I made a deal at 37. I could have had 37. They were public about it. We'll give you the same deal that China has for 37. And they paid 500. They paid $500 million. That's the way you ruin a country. And it's the same attitude that, you know, you have on everything else with these people. They were terrible. The anti-American UN Human Rights Council we ended. The UN Relief and Works Agency we ended. And the fake Paris Climate Accord, which was a ripoff of America, where we had to pay $1 trillion and they were paying nothing. China didn't kick in until 2035. We kicked in immediately. We were supposed to pay $1 trillion. Russia went to a
2035.
standard of 1991, which was a dirtier standard. But we had to pay top dollar. So I terminated that. another Rick. We ended the woke lunacy and restored common sense, abolished all
He's just still making himself
diversity,
proud, ain't he?
equity, and inclusion DEI policies throughout the federal government and the private sector. They're gone, everybody. They're gone. Terrible. Terminated the Green New Scam and ended the insane electric vehicle mandate. I love electric vehicles. That caused me a little problem with a man named Elon. But he understands, and he's a good guy. We get along, but I said, Elon, we can't have all electric
All these deals,
cars.
why prices for everything so high in the U.S.?
I like his car.
I'd like to know that too.
But,
I'd like to know that too.
In particular, I like his car. But we can't do that because
Dutch should
some
make an
people
offer
don't
in
want an
Greenland. We need the
electric
extra
car
land space
by
for all the immigrants coming.
2030.
Most
And to build
populated
the
country in
power
Europe
stations
by
all over the
density.
country would
Yeah,
cost
you
$4
get
trillion.
Greenland.
$4 trillion. That's more than
Denmark's
any
probably
country
cool with that.
has. If you got China, the United States, and everyone, you couldn't do it. And it would have taken years. And yet they were supposed to be switching
He
over.
also liked the Proud Boys.
Electric
So
vehicle mandate.
I
Some
don't know anything
people
about the Proud Boy. I know it
don't like
sounds white
electric
supremacist.
Some
I know
people
it
want
sounds that way.
hybrids.
I
Some
don't know
people want
anything about
regular
them.
Gasoline-powered cars.
I
We
can't
have more
speak on that. I don't
gasoline than
know
anybody.
who they are.
Now with
I've heard the name
Venezuela,
mentioned.
We have 62% of the market when you include Venezuela. So I ended the Green New Scam and I ended the insane electric vehicle
26 a
mandate.
month
Now you
for
can buy a
internet in the U.S.
gasoline-powered
$250 a
car,
month for less speed. Yeah, I believe
you
it.
can buy a electric vehicle.
I believe it.
I mean, if you think, if you want electric, you can buy it. Make a good deal on them right now because they made a lot of them. Permanently
Wait, you
stopped
didn't-
Joe Biden's ridiculous.
You didn't know the
cafe
entire universe, not
standards
just the world, gravitates
having
around
to do
Trump.
with the
Everyone knows
environment.
that.
So ridiculous. Cancel the EPA.
You're right. That's why he's orange.
absurd.
Because he's the
Totally
sun.
absurd.
Everything
Tailpipe
revolves around the
emission
sun.
standard,
That's why
which
he's orange.
Made you
right?
spend hundreds of thousands. It made for hundreds of thousands of cars. The numbers, the cost numbers were incredible that the consumer has to pay. Imposed 25% tariff on all foreign automobiles.
35 for internet,
100%
TV,
tariff
and
on
unlimited
Chinese
data for your
cars
phone.
Don't come into the country because of tariffs.
That's
Only
just
because of
my
tariffs.
phone
We
bill.
didn't have tariffs. You wouldn't
My
have
internet's
any
like 80 a
car-
month.
We have now more car factories being built in the United States than
And no
ever
TV.
before.
I just gotta
because of
stream
tariffs. If they
stuff
take
for
those
whatever.
tariffs away, China will eat
Dang.
our lunch. They'll take all of our.
Good one with the sun, Charlie.
Now,
Yeah.
There's another way of
That
doing
was funny.
it, but it's more cumbersome. et
Thanks for
cetera, et
laughing.
cetera. I don't want to scare you, but it's much more cumbersome. Not as
32
good,
euros for unlimited
not as good
5G
for
in
national
Germany.
security as
Dang.
we have a perfect system right now. We're making a fortune. We've never been
Dang.
stronger, and I hope the Supreme Court does the right thing for our country. Because if they don't, it's such a problem. It's just so, it would be so sad. We're doing so well because of tariffs. And the people that are heading up the lawsuit, like
80 a month. Wow.
guy
For
named
unlimited data
Leonard
and calls, I
Leo.
pay 18 euros. Lucky.
bad guy, and people that are very China
100
oriented,
megabyte a
and
second
foreign
speed.
car oriented, and foreign business oriented, but in
For
particular
80.
China, they're suing to get rid of tariffs because they don't want tariffs, like Coke.
10 euros in the
Coke has
Netherlands.
Businesses outside of the United States, if you have them outside, you don't want tariffs, but because of tariffs, they treat us well. Without tariffs, they would treat us very badly, as you saw for many years. They respect us more now than they ever have respected us, by a lot.
300
And
megabytes is
revoked
normal
the
in the
California
Netherlands.
emissions waiver to stop San Francisco communists from regulating the automobile industry and destroying automobiles.
Yeah,
and the
everything's expensive here,
industry
guys.
In the nation, I was with Bill Ford of
Why I'm
Ford
always broke.
Motors. I was with all the people.
Why you
at
should watch
General
more of my
Motors the other
videos.
day, and they are making more money and building.
Go
more
click like on
cars
all
than
of
they've
them.
they are doing so good. All
I can
because
afford
of
the internet.
tariffs and what I've done. And they're
35 a
building their
month,
plants
including
all
a
in
phone
the United
line,
States.
unlimited calls and data.
Reopened Anwar
That's
for
crazy.
drilling. That's a big deal. Launched a massive Alaskan pipeline project to export natural gas to Asia. We made a deal with South Korea and with Japan that gives us money, the likes of which nobody's ever
700
seen.
megabyte internet.
Signed executive orders to
Dang.
end Biden's war on coal and put, I say, clean, beautiful coal. I never say the word coal. It has to be preceded by the words clean, beautiful coal. And put miners back to work. The miners love Trump. I think I got 100% of their vote.
What
We
minors
banned
is he talking about that loves Trump?
transgenders from the military. We don't want transgenders.
The ones he's messing with in the Epstein files? Oh,
Ordered
shit.
reinstatement of patriots expelled from our military. with
Bad
full
joke. Sorry.
Back pay. So we had some people that were terminated, and they're coming back into our military. Fired the woke boards of visitors at our military service academies. The boards of visitors were run by radical left, maybe
I'm listening a
communists,
little
maybe
bit. I'm
not,
waiting
but
for him
they
to
were
talk about
still
Greenland so I
heavily
can shut
radical
up and
left.
listen to it.
Bad for us. Signed an executive order to remove anti-American propaganda from federal museums and national parks. Required the federal employees to return to work in person or be fired. We don't want them sitting in their home on their bed working. We want them in an office that we're paying for in Washington, D.C. or wherever it may be. And we've largely taken care of that mess. That was crazy. I guarantee you they're out on the ball fields. I guarantee you they're out playing golf. And you can't run a country.
I was listening,
or a
but now it's
company
sort of white noise in the
that way.
background.
It's happening even so with countries and companies. But we had so many of our federal workers, they wouldn't come into work. Signed an order banning all government censorship and restoring free speech. Made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only
Eggs got more expensive,
two
actually.
genders. This was not a tough one. Two genders. Can anybody guess what they are? Male.
Everything got expensive.
I think the Democrats know that too, but they refuse to admit it. Ban the use of puberty blockers, hormone injections, and other chemical and surgical mutilation of children. Can you imagine saying this 15 years ago? That we banned the use of puberty blockers, hormone injections, and other chemical and surgical mutilation of our children. You know, when I say it, I say, do I have to say that? I actually asked my people today, yes, sir, because people...
He was supposed to bring
that's
prices
where
down.
the country went.
He was supposed to end the Ukraine war, too.
From playing in women's sports. Big Supreme Court case on that. I mean, I can't believe it. Some of the justices were...
Are you afraid
fighting
if you've been here,
hard
you dislike
for
America,
men to
live in
be able
America
to
even
play
more?
women's sports.
Probably.
A couple of them.
I don't have a choice. I
Imagine
mean,
it, but I think anybody that rules that way should lose a lot of credibility. But
Doritos at
banned men
$8 in
from
some places in
playing
USA
women's
now.
sports. All you have to do is look.
Yeah,
at the
that's why I
records.
don't
Look
eat
at
Doritos
weightlifting
anymore.
Records. Look at swimming records. Look at track and field. It's not.
I don't
fair.
eat
It's
them no
very,
more.
Demeaning to women. Banned transgender ideology and critical race theory from our schools. Secured unprecedented settlements with Brown University, Columbia University, and many other colleges, including the University of Pennsylvania, where I went, the great old Wharton School of Finance.
Release the Epstein
To
files.
restore
Yeah, yeah.
fairness and merit. We're working with Harvard right
Surgeries
now.
are done only after 18. Yeah.
Very anti-Semitic. Terrible what they've done. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the letter. We checked out the letter earlier that Trump sent to the Norwegian guy. Yes.
Ended taxpayer-funded student loan forgiveness for radical left and anti-American activists. Can you believe it? Began the process of abolishing the Federal Department of Education and returning education back to the states. And Linda McMahon is doing
Yep, true. Look
a
at yourself.
fantastic
What do you
job.
mean by that?
Ended Joe Biden's weaponization of our government and removed his hand-picked radical left Marxist prosecutors.
Yeah, look at myself about what? What are you talking
from the
about?
Department of Justice, like deranged Jack Smith. He's a sick son of a bitch. They gave me the worst of the worst. And here I am. How did that happen? How did that happen? He's a sick guy, and Letitia James is
They need to
sick.
get their audio sorted out
And
over there at the
Alvin
White
Bragg
House.
is sick. They're sick people.
I thought they had the money to
And
get good
others.
audio.
Fanny. You can't call Fanny. She doesn't like it. She wants to be called Fanny.
You guys planning a trip to the Netherlands? Yeah. Yeah. As long as this doesn't fuck it up.
Can you imagine putting somebody through that? And then if I suggest that somebody may be guilty of a terrible crime, oh, he's weaponizing government. Trump is weaponizing government. It's terrible. Can you imagine? They say to me about weaponize. I don't weaponize anything.
How long can a briefing go before it becomes a rant?
Nobody ever
It's
went
been a
through what I
rant.
went through.
He
And here I
started
am
it
in a place
ranting.
called the White House. It's a beautiful place.
Or
Who would've
react to
thought,
Trump.
right?
Okay.
Signed legislation
Gotcha.
to
Yep,
cut
true.
all
Look at
taxpayer
yourself. You're talking to
funding.
Trump when you said that. Makes more sense. I was confused. Like, what are you talking about? What did I
NPR
do?
and PBS, and they're sort of gone now, I guess. I heard they closed up.
Should a briefing be
They
brief?
were so unfair. They were so.
I mean, it's in the name. It seems like it should be brief.
Officially
Yeah.
reinstated Columbus Day. I like the name Columbus Day.
Yeah. I hope not. Which places you guys are going to? We're going everywhere.
Remember?
We're going all
when
over.
You go to the voting booths. I reinstated.
I got update
Columbus Day. That
videos
was
on
an
it.
Easy one. Christopher Columbus cut
Too much to
Social
get into right
Security
now.
wait times by 50%. Served 65% more Social Security recipients by phone, and are on track to doubling the service and performance compared to the Biden administration.
It's a
We're
comedy
2.5
show.
to 3 times better and faster. Slash VA claims backlog to the lowest number ever recorded.
Maybe you can get asylum when you get
Created
here in the
Trump
Netherlands.
accounts starting with $1,000 for
Don't think that
every
would work.
newborn baby. This is something that's become so popular, and I give Mr. and Mrs. Michael Dell Computer, who put in $6.25 billion, started with nothing, and he actually invested all that money to give to kids, so that when they grow up, they have an account that might be worth a lot of money. It'll be riding with the markets, and you know they can. At 20 years old, 21 years old, they could have $100,000. They could have a lot of money. That's going to be amazing. But I give a lot of credit to Mr. and Mrs. Michael Dell. Signed AI executive order to ensure the United States dominates the future of artificial intelligence. So we're leading China. We're leading the whole world. We're producing more electricity than we
I'll
ever
be in
have because
Fizzlin.
I'm allowing every one of those plants to build their own electric facility. We're giving them very, very fast approvals, unlike Los Angeles with the fire. So the federal government, I want to give a lot of credit to Lee Zeldin. The hardest approval for the 20,000 houses or more that burned down in Los Angeles because they didn't have the water. They didn't allow the water to come down from the Pacific Northwest. They routed the water into the Pacific Ocean. So we had no water there. No, he had. I would say open up the water. Open it up to the governor, to the mayor. They didn't want to do it. They wanted to protect a tiny little fish that's, you know, I said, how can you have a fish when you don't have any water? It was just an excuse, I guess. But it's amazing. We took 20,000
Groenland's pretty much antifreeze.
houses, and Lee Zeldin, the toughest permit.
It used to be
from the federal
Friesland,
government. Within
actually.
2 weeks, every single permit was given to the people to build their houses. Then you have the incompetent mayor of Los Angeles. He's neutral, who decided to go to Africa during the fire. So you have this incompetent mayor. And
What
I
about
had
the
it out with
incompetent
her the
president?
night when I got right after the fire, I went there. She said, we're working on it so that we can have everybody starting to build within 2 or 3 years. Remember?
Fucking
I
up the
said,
whole
"You mean
world."
2 or 3 days. No, I mean 2 or 3 years. And the place went crazy. Well, they still haven't gotten their permits. But every federal permit, every single one has been given a year ago. And Lee Zeldin has done a great job. And he's done a great job in the approval of all these big plants and factories and all of the electricity that they're creating for themselves. I said to Zuckerberg, I said to all of them, I said to Jeff Bezos, I said to everybody. Mark Zuckerberg couldn't believe it. He said, you know, where are we going to get all the electricity? Because you need double the electricity that the country currently makes just to fire up those big plants. I said, well, nobody can do that. So what we're going to do is let you make your own electricity. Nobody believed it. And I said, we're going to get you fast permits. So we get them within 2 weeks. And they're coming up with some of the most incredible electric plants you've ever seen. So
There's
each
a poll
one of
for
those
you.
massive buildings, AI or otherwise,
Did he
is
forget
building their
Greenland
own electricity,
while
they're building their
impressing
own
himself?
plant, and it's incredible. Many of them are under construction already. They're going to have. We're
Busy
leading
talking
AI,
himself
and
up,
we're leading
guys.
China by a lot. Established a Maha Presidential Commission, banned many artificial food dyes, as you know, issued new vaccine recommendations, and created new real food pyramid.
See,
and Bobby
some
and
stuff's
Dr.
good.
Oz have been incredible.
Get rid of
Provided $12
artificial
billion in aid for
food
American
stuff.
farmers.
That's cool.
Just
I get
gave
that.
$12
That
billion
makes
in
sense.
aid
I'm on
because
board.
They got screwed by other nations.
Leave Greenland alone.
And the number of drug dealers have fallen every single month since I took office. Drug dealers are way down and the United States. And that's a small version of what's sitting right there. That's just a small version. We took a country that was dead, and it's the hottest country in the world right now, and that's after 1 year. So let's go.
Why was there never an impeachment against Trump in Congress, Charlie, when he started to talk vile about Europe and threats Greenland? Are they sleeping? They should impeach him. I agree with you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I have two questions for you. One, do you
No
want
Greenland?
Your Board of Peace to replace the UN?
Well, it might. I mean, the UN just hasn't been very helpful. I'm a big fan of the UN potential, but it has never lived up to its potential.
Maybe somebody will
UN
ask
should
him.
have settled every one of the wars that I settled. I never went to them. I never even thought to go to them. They should be able to settle those wars. They don't. I believe you got to let the UN continue because the potential is so great.
And I wonder, you invited Lula from Brazil to be part of the Board of Peace.
I did.
What role do you
I did.
expect him to play, especially
A big role. I like him.
Venezuela?
Yeah,
And
I like
another one, because
Are you from Brazil?
Yes. The EU and Mercosur just signed a trade agreement this weekend, which is going to be the biggest trade zone, free zone in the world.
Right.
At the moment, you are talking a lot about
Gareth
tariffs.
Thorne?
What is your reaction to
I may be checking that out when I get there.
Well, look, I just think this. I think we have trade like we've never had before. We're doing better in trade than we ever have before. We're not being ripped off by every country in the world like we were before. We're doing numbers that nobody's ever thought possible. We're the richest we ever were. It's because of tariffs and the proper use of tariffs. And we're also the most secure. As an example, Iceland, without tariffs, they wouldn't even be talking to us about it. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to work out quite well. Yeah, right behind.
Thank you, Mr. President. How would you characterize your relationship with Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer right now? And have you spoken to them since your Truth Social post last
No, I
night?
haven't, but I think I get along very well with them. I mean, they always treat me well. They get a little bit rough when they're, when I'm not around. But when I'm around, they treat me very nicely. And, I like both of them. They're both liberal. They've got to straighten out their countries. You can't, London is...
Did he mix up Iceland and Greenland? He mentioned Iceland.
Paris got a lot of problems.
Is that what happened,
They have
Alina?
two problems, immigration and energy. They got to stop with the windmills, and they got to go back like... UK has an unbelievable asset called the North Sea. Norway uses it, makes a fortune. They have a better section of it, and they don't do it. They could straighten out their countries, and it would be good. But I get along very well with them.
You said Iceland before Greenland.
told Norway's prime minister.
Are you from Norway?
No.
You look like you would be from Norway. She looks like she's from Norway.
What does that mean? What does somebody from Norway look like?
That you not winning the Nobel
They're just
Peace
white.
Prize made you feel less obligated to think purely of peace.
Well, I
Why would
lost a
not-
lot of respect for Norway. And
But why
I
would not
believe,
winning
and
that
I believe
prize
very
affect-
strongly that Norway controls the Nobel Prize. But you have to understand, I settled 8 wars. I've had every one of those wars, every participant wrote, I didn't ask him to do it. They sent in strong recommendations.
Right.
They make
People in Iceland are now like, what the fuck does he mean
But I
us?
settled 8 wars. No president's probably ever settled 1 war. I don't know. Think of it. I did 8. The reason I do it is because it's easy for me to do. And I didn't do it for a Nobel Prize. I did it because I'm saving a lot of lives. I'm trying to settle the final one. I'm trying to do Russia-Ukraine. And when Russia's ready, Ukraine's not. When Ukraine's ready, Russia's not. But they're losing 25,000 people a month on average. And I'm trying to get that one done. But no, I feel that Norway has
Drenthe
tremendous
is
control over
beautiful.
who gets to Nobel.
Yeah, Carolina.
Nobel Prize, despite
Have you
what
seen
they
the
say.
Hunenbed now?
How far are you willing to go to acquire Greenland?
You'll find out.
That's all the mention was.
Kevin Hassett has said that those $2,000 tariff rebate checks would be up to Congress to decide whether or not to disperse that. Do you agree with Kevin Hassett on that? Or do
He
you
said,
think we
"You'll
should do that
find out."
unilaterally?
I don't think we would have to go the Congress route, but we'll
We
find
know
out.
what this
The
means.
reason we're even talking about it is that we have so much money coming in from tariffs that we'll be able to issue at least a $2,000 dividend and also pay down debt for the country. But we'd do a $2,000 dividend to the people of our country. Would probably set a limit of, income limit where it made sense. But we will be able to make a very substantial dividend to the people of our country. I believe we can do that without Congress.
Last night on Truth Social, you said that the British plan to hand the base of Diego Garcia over to Mauritius and then rent it back was an act of great stupidity. Previously, you backed that deal. Is it now your position that the deal should not go ahead?
I think that they, when they originally were going to do it, they were talking about doing some concept of ownership. But now they're looking to essentially just do a lease and sell it. And I'm against that. It's a reasonably nothing like Greenland, but it's a reasonably important
What's he talking
area
about now?
of the globe. Not
What part?
Anywhere near Greenland, but I think they should keep it. I don't know why they're doing it. Do they need money?
Mr. President, with your support to the Syrian government, most probably you avoided another civil war and a bloodshed in Syria, especially after the fall of the regime.
I did a good job. I did a good job.
And, the Syrian government, the last 2 weeks, had to use some force to implement its force on specific areas. And
Well,
with
to keep the prisoners, the terrorist prisoners, which are some of the worst in the world, at bay. So they were able to keep that. He's working very hard. The president of Syria is working very, very hard. Strong guy, tough guy, pretty rough resume. But you're not going to put a choir boy in there and, get the job done. I spoke with him yesterday because we were talking about the prisons and, what was going on. We have some of the worst terrorists in the world in those prisons, and he's watching them.
Syria.
Go
Mr.
ahead.
President, Gavin Newsom is going to be at Davos if he's not already there. You're probably going to run into him. I presume that this is for him to raise his platform for 2028, but what do you anticipate his foreign policy platform is going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that he's going to be the nominee. I know this. I had a very good relationship with Gavin Newsom when we were, in office together. I was president. He was the governor of California. We had he would talk about it often, and somewhere we just went astray. I just hate the way California is being run. We actually have people leaving. It's never happened before, but I hate the way it's being run. He and I had a very good relationship, really close to the word exceptional, but now we seem not to.
I'm reading the chat, guys. I just don't want to interrupt too much on here.
You spoke earlier.
Mr. President, you've been hearing from allies.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you so much, President Trump. Kara Castanova from Lindell TV. And you spoke earlier about the 2020 election. Now that Maduro is in U.S. custody and he was criminally charged, has any more information emerged that you could share with us regarding Venezuelan election software and Venezuelan ties to tampering with the 2020 election? And would you consider speaking to Maduro personally in prison in New York to get some answers on Venezuela's involvement with the 2020 election?
No, I don't think I would be doing that. I think my lawyers would be very unhappy if I did that. Yeah, they've learned some things. Please.
What happens to the tariff threat?
He don't want to
to
answer those
Greenland
questions,
if
does he?
The Supreme Court comes out and rules against you on the tariffs. And
Well, I'll have to use something else. I mean, look,
willing to use force?
take a look at the word license. Take a look at other things. I mean, we have other alternatives. But what we're doing now is the best, the strongest, the fastest, the easiest, the least complicated.
Sir, if you move ahead with the Greenland-related tariffs on Europe, you secured almost $1 trillion of commitments from them to invest in the United States. Does that go kaput out the window if that happens?
I doubt it. Look, they need that agreement very badly with us. They really do. They fought very hard to get it. So I doubt that, but we'll see what happens. We have a lot of meetings scheduled on Greenland. I'm leaving tonight, as you know, for Davos. And we have a lot of meetings scheduled on Greenland. And I think things are going to work out pretty well, actually.
What do you say later tonight? There's a meeting? Is that what he said?
Thank you, Mr. President. Could you still go to Paris for the G7 emergency meeting as offered by President Macron?
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
He said he's leaving a meeting tonight.
Because, Emmanuel's not going to be there very long. And, there's no longevity there. He's a friend of mine. He's a nice guy. I like Macron. But
There was a question about
He's
Greenland.
not going to be there very much longer, as you know.
How far will you take it? He said,
meetings with the people
you'll
that
see.
are directly involved, not some of the people you're talking about.
Thank you so much.
He's going to that Davos meeting, I think.
I've never seen this room like this. Is this
a celebration of the first year? Yes. Have you ever seen it? I've never seen this many.
When's Davos meeting? Is that
I hope you
a
have a very
public thing?
good structural floor. You know, this used to be a swimming pool. You're sitting over a swimming pool. I could see that happening. But this, we need a good structure here, don't we, huh? Yeah.
Mr. President. Thank you so much, Mr. President. Happy 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
And my question is on Syria. The Kurds, as the most loyal U.S. partners, facing attacks by some Syrian elements within the Syrian government. Will you do to ensure the Kurdish
EU
rights
meeting,
protected
not
under
public, I
effective
guess?
Forces against terrorism in Rojava, Syria, continue as the Kurdish see you
Okay.
as the president does not abandon his allies?
Well, I like the Kurds, but just so you understand, the Kurds were paid tremendous amounts of money, were given oil and other things, so they were doing it for themselves, more so than they were
Press will
doing
be
for us.
there?
But we got along with the Kurds, and we are trying to protect the Kurds, that's correct.
Talking to people outside and stuff, probably.
Give us
And
a preview of what we can expect as far as, you know, laying out the plans for Americans to be able to buy homes.
I think more than anything else, what I'm going to be speaking about is the tremendous success that we've had in 1 year. I didn't think we could do it this fast. Think of it, it's just now 12 months, and you know, I say it often, we have the most successful country in the world. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world by far. And this country
What are you talking
would have been
about, McCall?
absolutely stone cold dead. And I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to be, because, you know, a lot of them could use some of the advice as to what we did. They need energy. You take a look at their energy policy, they're going to destroy themselves with what they're doing with the windmills and all the nonsense. They need
Mr.
energy
Flap, see you in a
help
bit.
badly, or they're going to be in big trouble, and they need immigration help badly. How much longer do you want to go?
See you later, Mar.
I have a very important call with President Erdogan, who I like a lot. All right, one or two more questions.
Greenland question.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Is it Greenland?
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
One question about the
Red.
Yes.
The red blouse. Go ahead.
You talked a lot at the beginning of this about the economy, some positive economic indicators. Polling shows a majority of Americans don't feel the economy is doing well. Are you worried you're making the same mistake as President Biden by telling
No,
the...
I hope I don't make the same mistake as him. Look, I inherited a terrible, it's a great question, because we inherited a terrible, terrible mess between the border, between all the problems. The whole country was falling apart. And in 12 months, less than 12 months, in 12 months, we have the strongest border we've ever had.
I agree,
we have
Rick
prices
79.
that are much, much lower than they were for the last. We inherited very high prices. We inherited, remember this, inflation was at a historic high. We had never had inflation like that. They say 48 years, but whether it's 48 years or ever, we had the highest inflation, in my opinion, that
Davos
we've ever
meeting's
had.
12 hours
Prices,
from now?
because of that, were very high. I inherited, we brought down eggs immediately. Remember the first news conference, they were screaming at me about eggs. I was in the position for 2 days, and we brought eggs down to lower than what they were before. And by the way, they continue that way.
Eggs aren't
We brought
cheap.
the prices down from when I came into office and from what Biden had, way down. We're going to bring them down further. But the job we did is
Maybe for a
miracle.
week, they
One
went
of the
back
reasons
up.
I'm doing this today is to explain.
It went back
We
up.
inherited a mess, and we've made it a beautiful, beautiful picture. Think
It
of
was a mess,
gasoline
but
at
it's still messy.
$1.99 in many states.
Still messy.
$1.99 a gallon. It was $4.50, $5. In some cases, $6 or $7. We're at $1.99. And energy is so big that with energy, everything else comes down. But the prices are coming way down. And we're going to bring them down further. But we started up here with these guys. We inherited a country that was broken. We inherited a country, and I have a very warm spot. We've done very well with Venezuela. And by the way, that even in itself is going to help us bring down the oil prices. The Venezuelan oil, we've taken 50 million gallons of oil. We've taken 50 million barrels of oil out of Venezuela in the first 4 days. We've got millions of barrels of oil left. We're selling it on the open market. We're bringing down oil prices incredibly. And when they come down, and they've already come down, Again, $1.99 a gallon for oil. Nobody thought they'd ever see it. All right, one or two more. Go ahead, go. Yes.
40 ban for Argentina. What is that?
Is the military option still on the table? And can you assure us that the killing in Iran has stopped? And when regard to the Peace Council, which members have to pay $1 billion?
So with Iran, are you from Iran?
No, I cover the White House.
I want universal health care and education too, guys.
So with Iran, they were going to hang 837 people, and I let them be known that, and we let them know that if that happens, that will be a very bad day for them. And they decided not to do it. They didn't hang the people. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future, but supposedly they've taken that off the table. But they were going to, last week, they were going to hang on Thursday or Wednesday. They were going to hang, I think, 837 people, and they didn't hang anybody. So we're just going to have to see what happens with Iran. Is the military option off the table? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Trump.
Thank you, President Trump.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Go ahead, I'll take your question.
Okay, thank you, President.
Go ahead, right here.
Thank you, Mr. President. You promised during your second inaugural to always put America first. I'm curious, how would you winning the Nobel Peace Prize improve the lives of average, everyday Americans? Why is it?
You did forget Greenland.
It wouldn't improve the lives of any. But what improved the lives of people are people that are living. I saved probably tens of millions of lives in the wars. You know, if you add up the numbers, just if you look at any one of those wars, you're talking about millions of people. You multiply it times 8. But when you look at India and Pakistan, that could have been 10, 15, 20 million people. Could have been more than that. So I saved millions of people. So that, to me, is the big thing. What?
You suggested a moment ago that perhaps the reason why a positive story about the economy isn't getting through is because of, bad communications people. But are average Americans wrong to still feel high prices? And how much longer does the White
What's a
House
steak in USA cost?
So I think a lot of people are listening to the fake news a little bit. And I'm not blaming anybody. I think I blame ourselves. I think we've done a much better job than we're able to promote. We're not promoting. We're doing a great job, and we're sort of letting the promotion take care of itself. One of the reasons I'm doing this news conference, I think it's important. We have taken a mess and made it really good. It's going to get even better. But if you look at prices from a year or a year and a half ago, you look at the Biden prices, they were way up through the sky. And, they use the word affordability. They just say affordability, and they don't talk about it.
He acts like everything's cheaper now. I don't understand.
We are solving it. We have solved a lot of it. Again, everybody agrees in this room, I think, gasoline prices have come per gallon way down. When that happens, everything else comes down. But they've come down way down.
Sorry, wrong channel. Way too nice person for all this shit.
It's all happening, and it's happening strong. But if you go back a year and a half, 2 years, take a look at those prices and look at the prices now.
I met Charlie, not the same person. Yes, thanks for saying I'm too nice.
You made a condition.
Where are you from?
I appreciate it.
Nice place.
Thank you. You made a condition that the political prisoners should be freed. It seems that they are not being as fast as they promised in the beginning. Would that be an issue for the current government?
They've agreed that they're going to let, I guess, most of them out. Or depends on what they did.
Gasoline's down 20
they
cents.
Have released a lot of. They have released a lot of political prisoners in Venezuela.
Mr. President, earlier on last year, you had indicated that you wanted to take back the Panama Canal.
He's lying.
We've heard a lot about Greenland.
Charlie, inflation in the USA went up under Trump because of tariffs. Yeah.
Sort of.
You must be really nice, man.
Sort of. That's sort of.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, one more.
Sure.
Yes, blonde.
I'll take it.
Blue. Yes, go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead with the blue. Holding.
It's always about the pretty ladies. Earlier, the man, and the pretty red blouse. Now it's blonde hair, blue eyes. You, ma'am.
Greenland is the ultimate breakup of the NATO alliance.
He's in the Epstein files, guys.
You mean the breakup of it's very interesting. So I think something's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm fair. I take a dump on everybody equally.
For everybody. nobody's
Can't
done
trust none of the government.
more for NATO than I have, as I said before, in every way. Getting them to go up to 5% of GDP was something that nobody thought was possible. And pay. At 2%, they weren't paying. At 5%,
Less than 1%
they are
of the
paying.
files have been released.
And they're buying a lot of things from us, and they're giving them, I guess, to Ukraine. That's up
Half
to
of that
them.
was
They're
covered
giving
in
them to
black
whoever they're giving
squares.
them to, but they're buying a lot.
So less than
I think
one, well, less than that
we will
even.
work something out where NATO's going to be very happy, and where we're going to be very happy. But we need it for security purposes. We need it for national security and even world security. It's very important. How about it?
Thank you very much. First of all, last year you told me that you believe that the reason you won the election is because God put you in this place so that you could save the world. Looking back 1 year, do you feel like God is proud of the effort that you've put
I
in?
do, actually. I think God is very proud of the job I've done. And that includes
That's
for
why he
religion.
laughed.
You know, we're protecting a lot of people that are being killed. Christians, and Jewish people, and lots of people are being protected by me that wouldn't be protected by another type of president. No, I think a lot of people are very proud of the job we've done. We've had an amazing year. This has been one of the greatest years. Even some people that wouldn't necessarily love me instinctively, they're saying this was an incredible year. We've had an incredible year economically. Look at our border. Our border was a disaster. People poured. It was an invasion into our country of a lot of very bad people. Good people too, but a lot of very bad people from prisons and drug dealers and gangs and horrible people, murderers, thousands and thousands of murderers allowed into our country. And we now have the strongest border of any country. There's probably not a country, I guess North Korea has a pretty strong border, by the way, but there's not a country in the world that has a border like we do. And we took it from the worst border. We had the worst border in the world. Now we have one of the strongest borders in the world.
God is orange translates to God is God ice cream orange for some reason.
Greenland, but Greenlanders have made it clear they don't want to be part of the U.S.
Well,
what
I haven't.
gives the U.S. the right to take away that
When I
self-determination?
speak to them, I'm sure they'll be thrilled.
Take it easy, 666 Magdalene.
I've had such a good relationship.
Too many lies going to sleep.
I've made it so much better, so much stronger. It's so good now. NATO is so much stronger now.
NATO's
I
falling
don't
apart,
agree
right?
with a lot of the things they've done, but that was done before I got there. I think NATO's been good.
Mandatory to
Sometimes it's
vote or not bring it.
overrated,
Yeah,
sometimes
I
it's
didn't
strong.
vote.
We have a strong NATO. When I came here, we had a weak NATO. We had a NATO at 2%, and they weren't paying. You had a nothing NATO. NATO's, whether you like it or not, it's only as good as we are. If NATO doesn't have us, NATO is not very strong.
Thank you.
Yes, no, behind you, please.
Thank you, President Trump.
Yes, go ahead.
Greatly appreciate it, sir. We heard a long list of accomplishments from the last year. Could you cherry pick the top three? And then looking forward, what are your three most important priorities in 2026?
So I think the building of a really powerful military has been a great achievement, and that would include the Venezuela thing. That would include the attack on Iran and the wiping out of the nuclear threat. I think that's been really amazing what we've done militarily. I think what we've done in business has been incredible. We have $18 trillion coming in. Plants are being built all over. Thousands of plants are being built all over the country. 18 trillion is a record. No country has ever come anywhere even close to that. I think that's a record. And I think that most favored nations for drugs is something that nobody thought they'd be able to get. Tariffs helped me there because the nations would have never gone along with it if I wasn't able to say,
Take it easy,
don't go along with
Yolanda.
it. We're going to put a 10 or 15 or 20% tariff on your nation. And they went along. And our drug prices are going to come down at numbers never even seen before, never even thought possible before. So those would be three things. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
That's it, huh?
Thank you very much.
How much did you pay for Greenland, sir?
How was the game?
Huh. So basically, that was just a whole nothing burger. And all he basically said about Greenland was somebody asked, what was it? They said, like, how far are you willing to go to acquire Greenland? And he said, you'll see. right? So it's 3:34. I have 15, or no, let's see. Yeah, I got 15 minutes. I got to be out front to get Anthony from the bus stop. So we're gonna end up ending the stream here in a couple minutes. Did I hear what about Greenland? Greenland was nothing. He didn't really address it himself. He was questioned. Somebody asked him how far is he willing to go to acquire it, and basically, all he said was, "You'll see." So we know what that means. I don't know. So evidently there's that thing in 12 hours. The what's that called? Cravo, whatever that meeting place is. I don't know. They're doing that thing in like 12 hours. They're having a meeting. They're going to be talking about Greenland. So I guess that's going to be in like the middle of the night for me. We'll find out. I'll find out tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to cover it tomorrow. I mean, if something crazy happens, we may go live tomorrow and cover this. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and end the stream here in a few minutes. And I'll be doing a GeoGuessr stream. It'll be, I mean, it's obviously going to be late for the European viewers. I don't know for sure. It'll be sometime after 4. Like I said, I got to get Anthony off the bus. I got to, make sure he's good, this and that, get him after school snack, make sure he's content playing some Xbox or whatever. And then we're going to go live and play some GeoGuessr. So I guess stay tuned for the notification for that. And we're going to stay tuned. We're going to see what's going on and everything, but go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe, and thanks for the super chats and everything, and thanks for all the conversation. Davos, Switzerland, that's where it is. Yes, Davos. So we're going to find out what's going on with Davos. Hopefully some good news. Who knows? Probably not. But you guys have a super fun, awesome day. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.